Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Today, via tape delay from the home of the Laurel Highlands High School boys baseball team here at Thomas Landman Field, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs take on the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak with Tony Hanola and Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture, featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Again, I'm Brian Morozak with Tony Hanola and Jerry Dupay, and we'll be back with the lineups after these messages.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbauer.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Welcome back to Landman Field here at Laurel Highlands High School. The Thomas Jefferson Jaguars to bat first here in the top half of the first inning. Let's take a look at their lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 9, Kevin Rehak. Batting second in center field, number 6, Zane Zandier. Batting third, the first baseman, Luke Warhola. In the cleanup spots, the pitcher, Ian Logue. Batting fifth in left field, number 1, Garrett Fairman. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 7, Luke Galliotto. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Mike Huber. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 8, Josh Reynolds. And batting ninth and catching, number 2, Bobby Kelly. Defensively for Laurel Highlands, you have Greg Lancaster out in left, Hudson Novak in center, and Derek Gasebauer in right. Around the horn, Tanner Minio at third, Travis Sankovic at short, Josh Burns playing second base, Mason McManus playing first. On the hill, Evan Voighton. He's 2-0 for the season, a 5.25 ERA, has struck out 14, walked 10, and 13 1/3 innings so far this season. And Chad Petrus is the Mustang catcher. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Laurel Highlands hosting Thomas Jefferson on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Important for people to know that we represent injured people to the best of our ability, and we've been successful doing that. And I don't say that to have people come to see us because we have been successful. I say that because it's true, and it's important.
Another important aspect is the experience that we have is local experience in the court system in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Welcome back to Thomas Landman Field here at Laurel Highlands High School. 74 degrees under cloudy skies. We're ready to start this Section 3 5A matchup between the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. Brian Morozak alongside Tony Hanula and Jerry Dupay. And Jerry, another nice afternoon for high school baseball.
Definitely. Yeah, we're looking forward to a nice matchup here today. Thomas Jefferson, third-place team here in the section, playing the Mustangs. A big win for the Mustangs if they can get it today, as well as going into a game tomorrow, another section game with Gateway. So pretty crucial couple days here for the Mustangs here in section play.
The Mustangs playing their fourth of 5 games over a 6-day period this week. The Mustangs back in a 4th place in the conference at 4-4, game up over Albert Gallatin, who sits at 4-6 for that 4th and final playoff spot in the conference. Evan Voighton, as we said, on the hill for Laurel Highlands. Kevin Rehack will lead things off for Thomas Jefferson here in the top half of the first inning. And Voighton will start from the stretch and deliver the first pitch, fastball high for ball 1. Paul Schoenfield calling the balls and strikes today. Mike Berry on the bases.
And looking forward to seeing Voighton pitch here today. Haven't seen him yet, so kind of interested to see what he has here today, Brian.
Has won both of his decisions so far this season. That pitch misses low for ball 2, so 2-0 to the Jaguars' junior shortstop, Kevin Rehack.
It's been a pretty rough week on the Mustang pitching here with 5 games here this week, so kind of catching up for the South Carolina trip. So
2-0 pitch. Fastball misses low and outside. Kind of moves to 3-0. Voighton to Rehack, as Evan struggles a little bit to find the strike zone here in the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, and Voighton actually pitched last time against Thomas Jefferson. He pitched 2 2/3 innings, gave up 1 hit and no runs. So
Mustangs losing that game 10-6, finds the strike zone there. It looked like Rehack was taking all the way on that 3-0 pitch, so the count moves to 3-1.
And actually kind of earned the start, I guess, not allowing any runs against Thomas Jefferson the first time up.
Now the 3-1 pitch on the way, and Rehack, hard ground ball getting past Herminio down into the left field corner where it's fielded there by Greg Lancaster. But Rehack will stop at first, round to the first base bag, now back to it, but a leadoff single to left for Kevin Rehack for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars here in this top half of the first inning, which is being brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976. Regardless of your legal problem, Davis & Davis promises you personalized, friendly hometown service. Now the 3 sports star, Zane Zandier, will step in. Zandier played basketball for the Jags, on Bill Chirpak's football team. and is the starting center fielder on the baseball team as well, with Rehack on first and nobody out. Zandier will take the first pitch for strike one.
And on that last hit by Rehack, not much Arminio can do, kind of playing off the bag a little bit. And as it turned out, that ball stayed on the dirt here at Landman Yards and just scooted right through the infield, so it really didn't have a chance to make a play.
Yeah, certainly a well-hit ball, and they mowed the infield grass. Actually, the coaches were out with push mowers when I pulled in today, cutting down the infield grass here at Laurel Highlands High School.
Maybe trying to make it a little quicker. We talked about that, too, over at McKeesport. They had that all-dirt infield, which was pretty quick, but Laurel Highlands infield known to be rather slow.
The 0-1 now to Zandier. That pitch well high to even up the count at 1-1. The Mustangs will wrap up the week tomorrow hosting Gateway. It's an 11 a.m. first pitch, 10:45 Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show here on the radio side. We'll also have a simulcast on the South Union Township Sports Network as well.
And hoping to get that one in, Brian.
I guess there is a chance of rain throughout the morning hours tomorrow. So hopefully the rain holds off and we could play some high school baseball, Laurel Highlands and Gateway tomorrow, the first of two meetings within a 1-week period between those two schools. They'll meet again next Thursday. Another strike there from Voighton to move the count to 1-2 here to Zane Zandier.
And as we said, all these games now throughout the rest of the year are extremely important. Laurel Highlands actually kind of fortunate, not for local fans, but kind of fortunate that AG lost a couple games here this week.
They certainly got some help as Zandier is punched out there by Evan Voighton for Voighton. His 15th strikeout of the season sends down Zandier, now one away here in the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, Voighton kind of froze Zandier there with that curveball. I think he was kind of looking fastball and just froze him in his tracks. So nice pitch by Voighton.
And I'll bring up Luke Warhola, the TJ first baseman, junior, with Rehack on first and one out. Voighton again checks first, head first slide back in there from Rehack. You mentioned the two Albert Gallatin losses on Wednesday and Thursday. The Colonials losing to Woodland Hills on Wednesday and Franklin Regional on Thursday.
Yeah, and that's pretty tough. I know Coach Popovich had him playing well, but then again, the season's not over yet, so we'll see what happens.
A 2-1-run wins to start the week, defeated McKeesport on Monday and then Laurel Highlands on Tuesday. We mentioned the Mustangs with 4 conference losses. In fact, 3 of those 4 conference losses coming by 1 run each.
Right.
So the Mustangs could very easily be 7-1 in the conference at this point of the season. Well, foul tip there from Warhola. Counted 0-1.
Yeah, they've been fortunate. Well, and it played a rather impressive game the other day, 11 innings worth at McKeesport, and actually got a nice win out of that. We were kind of worried about it overall. Thought they might lose getting down in the 6th inning and then coming back in the 7th, tie it up and playing an extra 4 innings.
And certainly a back and forth game, but the Mustangs coming out on the winning end, and they're strike 2 to Luke Warhola. Count out 1-2. Voighton to Warhola, and Scott DeBerry, Laurel Highlands head coach, told us on the radio side during the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show with all that's happened with the Mustang program over the last week. He really didn't think they were mentally there Monday and Tuesday, but certainly bouncing back with that extra inning win on Wednesday. The 1-2 pitch missed high, so the count now even at 2-2.
It was definitely an interesting trip to South Carolina. So.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so they've kind of bounced back here and hopefully back on the winning ways.
2-2 pitch, breaking ball, a little check swing, single out to right, bouncing in front of Derek Gasebauer. So now 2 on with 1 out here in the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, Warhola just kind of reached out and took that outside pitch the other way, kind of just flipped it into right field. So not much Josh Burns can do there. So right over his head, and now TJ in business here with 2 runners on, 1 out.
And now Ian Logue, who will oppose Voighton on the mound here today. The pitcher batting from the cleanup spot, senior for the Jacks. TJ with a new head coach this year, and Kevin Gryboski. Jags 6-5 overall, 6-3 in the conference. And the lefty Logue now set to go. Trying to make some hay here in the top half of the first inning. First pitch misses inside. Count at 1-0.
And that's what we said, somewhat of a rarity to see a pitcher batting cleanup in a high school game, so must be a pretty decent hitter. We didn't have any stats on Thomas Jefferson, so can't pass that along to the listeners.
Logue, a pretty big guy. So he certainly packs a punch. Pops this one up, though, on the right side in foul territory towards the bullpen. And the ball go over the fence and out of play onto the half of the hill out there in right. We're positioned above the TJ dugout today down the third base line with no rain in the forecast today. We decided to take it outside, and certainly a better vantage point for us than in the press box above the Mustang dugout.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to see in that press box up there, so Brian actually wanted to work on his tan today, so that's why we're outside.
We certainly got a good work on our 10 on Wednesday outside at McKeesport. 1-1 pitch here. Rolled just off the plate. It was close. Count out 2-1.
Yeah, just a little outside.
And we were out there for a good 4 hours. Actually went home with a migraine headache on Wednesday after being out in the sun after a long day.
And we got home in the dark.
Yes, we did.
Way, so.
I didn't get home until after 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
After that one, that pitch fouled off by Logue. Count now even at 2-2.
It was an interesting game, that's for sure. It was back and forth and pretty much what we had expected. But
a worthwhile trip, though, getting the victory on the Mustang side.
Oh, definitely. And that was a big win. They needed that win badly. So a win here today could kind of boost spirits as well.
Now the 2-2. Logo check swing did not go around, and the count will move full to 3-2. Laurel Highlands had actually won 4 straight in the series over Thomas Jefferson before the Jags' 10-6 win over the Mustangs back on April the 11th, sweeping the season series in both 2015 and 2016 when the two teams played in the same conference in AAA under a 4-classification system. Payoff pitch here and a line drive right at the Mustang first baseman, Mason McManus, who steps on the bag to double up Luke Warhola. So a 3 unassisted double play to end the inning, and TJ ends up stranding Kevin Rehack. We'll go to the bottom half of the first inning. Scoreless here on the lawn from Franklin D. has High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
The Fayette Furnace Company, established in 1920 with over 100 years of combined experience in the industry. They are employee-owned and operated. They take pride in solving your home heating and air conditioning needs. They are the area's oldest and most reliable HVAC contractor. They specialize in creating quality energy-saving comfort for your home by using the most advanced technology in the industry. Along with the Carrier Corporation, Fayette Furnace can put together a system to improve your comfort, save you money on energy consumption, and improve any deficiencies in your existing system. They specialize in green speed inverter technology and split systems, ductless split units, zoning, radiant heat, boilers, hot water tanks, tankless water heaters, and many more applications. Call the Fayette Furnace Company today at 724-438-5400. That's 724-438-5400. Ask for Mike to schedule a free consultation.
Esophageal reflux affects 20% of Americans and can lead to heartburn, regurgitation, chest pain, and difficulty swallowing. Reflux is caused by stomach contents passing a faulty valve and entering the esophagus. Ulcers and precancerous tissue can then form. Offer the latest testing and treatment for reflux disease. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Batting first, third baseman Nathaniel Arminio. Batting second, shortstop Travis Sankovic. Batting third, center fielder Hudson Novak. Batting cleanup, first baseman Mason McManus. Batting fifth and playing right field, Derek Gasebauer. Batting sixth and DHing, Ian Edenfield. Batting seventh, the pitcher Evan Voighton. Batting eighth, the catcher Chad Petrus. And batting ninth, Josh Burns playing second base.
Defensively for Thomas Jefferson, Garrett Fairman out in left field. Zane Zandier, the center fielder. David Lee out in right. Around the horn, Josh Reynolds at third. Kevin Rehack at short. Luke Galliotto playing second. Luke Warhola playing first. Ian Logue on the mound. And Bobby Kelly catching for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars as Tanner Mineo will step in, the 5'11", 160 junior playing third base today, entering the game with a .268 average and 9 RBIs. We'll get things started for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, who again enter this game off of a 6-4 11-inning win over McKeesport on the road on Wednesday. And Ian Logue will wind and fire the first pitch here. Fastball misses low for ball one to Tan Erminio. Back in the top half of the first inning, Evan Voighton threw 20 pitches for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs.
Right, and Tan Erminio was the one that got the rally started down in McKeesport.
He did. Takes a strike there.
Got on base to lead off the 11th inning. Actually got on a base hit. Ended up scoring on a long single by Hudson Novak, followed by Travis Sankovic to make it 6-4.
And a 1-1. Erminio sending out in the right field. One playing a little havoc with it, but David Lee able to make the grab for the first outs of this bottom half of the first inning, which is being brought to you by Rod Landman for North Union Township Supervisor.
And just a slight breeze here today at Landman Yards, blowing a little bit out left to right here, Brian. So
I'm actually feeling a couple little raindrops, surprisingly. We had sunny skies when we got here about an hour ago, and things have clouded up quickly, but no real precipitation in the forecast until later on tonight. Now Sankovic swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Sanka 5'10", 165 junior, batting .349. With a homer and 8 RBIs on the season, playing shortstop here today. 0-1 pitch on the way. Sank fouls it off. Count now at 0-2. Ian Logue working quickly here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Yeah, he sure is. I think he's trying to beat the raindrops here, but we're going to be optimistic. They're not calling for rain until about midnight tonight. So
0-2 pitch misses low and outside. Count now 1-2. Logue to Sankovic. Hudson Novak to up behind Sank. In the Mustang batting order.
Sang.
1-2 pitch, and Sang sends this one into left field. Getting under Garrett Fairman will make the grab for the second out of the inning. And you go back to Wednesday and that Mustang extra inning win. You certainly have to credit Ian Edenfield, who did a great job coming on in relief. And talking to Scott DeBerry, Laurel Highlands head coach, he said the reason they didn't use Edenfield earlier in the season is the fact that due to him wrestling into the middle parts of the month of March, he didn't get an opportunity to really start throwing until late.
Wow. Well, good thing, and I can tell you this much. He actually proved to be a bright spot for the Mustangs, and he'll be used much, I'm sure, down the stretch here for the Mustangs trying to get into the playoffs here.
We'll certainly need his arm as Hudson Novak takes the first pitch for a ball, swings at the second pitch and pops it up here on the right side in foul territory. And moving back and dropping it there was Luke Warhola. In and out, so Warhola's glove should have been the third out of the inning.
Yeah, pretty easy play, but you know what, kind of tough over there right against the batting cage, and Warhola being on an unfamiliar field here as well, so we'll give him a little break there.
Looks like Barry Rosner has a little friend up there in the press box today.
Yes, he does, along with the bees.
Yes, I understand they had a little bee issue up there today. Another reason I guess it's good that we're outside today.
Yes. Yeah, we don't need that.
Next pitch to Novak, swing and a miss. 2 strikes on Hudson Novak. I was joking around with you guys, telling you a story. I played an unidentified golf course in Ohio a couple of years ago, and they told us if it was going to storm to stay out of the storm shack behind number 10 because they had a bee issue there. My question is, why not just bring some bee spray over and take care of it?
Exactly right.
So my 2 choices, they were either getting struck by lightning or getting stung by a bee. Luckily, it didn't storm.
I was going to say, though, you probably got a better chance of getting stung by a bee than getting struck by lightning. I'd have taken my chances.
Now Novak getting set for the 2-2. He'll step out.
Yeah, you would think that's easily curable, but they're going to go ahead and tell you about it anyway, right?
I would think so. Now the 2-2 on the way. Fastball and Novak sending out on the right side. This could be trouble over the line. The ball will drop in fair territory. Novak on his way to second. He'll round second on his way to third. And the rally and the throw in is wide. And Hudson Novak, a 2-out triple here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Right, and I was watching Coach DeBerry. He was waving Hudson on no matter what. Pretty tough play out there in right field. A nice effort.
And we'll see if that drop for Warhola will end up costing TJ a run.
Well, I guess official score now. You have to give him an error on that.
I would think
as
so.
Well, so, yeah. So Warhola will be credited with an error at first base since Hudson Novak reached first base safely. So 1 error by the Jaguars so far today.
McKeesport committed 5 against the Mustangs on Wednesday. And now Mason McManus an opportunity to drive in Novak here in the bottom half of the first inning with 2 outs. Logue's pitch on the way. Fastball low and inside, count at 1-0.
And Logue keeping the ball down pretty well for TJ here so far. Mustangs reach and kind of lifting everything up. We saw 3 fly balls here so far, nothing on the ground.
Next pitch on the way, well hit by McManus, again in the direction of David Lee out there and right, and Lee struggling with it for a little while before he comes over and makes the grab for the third out of the innings. The Mustangs strand Hudson Novak will head to the top half of the second scoreless. Laurel Highlands and TJ here in the law firm of Radcliffe and Dehas High School Sports Day.
Creditors calling you day and night? Your debt overwhelms you? Although you may feel that you're in a hopeless situation, Zebley, Mahalev & White can help. We're a full-service local bankruptcy firm that knows what a difficult time this is and what to do to help you get a fresh start. Call Zebley, Mahalev & White today for a free consultation. Your hometown bankruptcy firm. Call us today.
Don't borrow more money until you talk to Zebley, Mahalev & White.
We're back here at Landman Field. Garrett Fairman to lead off the top half of the second inning for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars, the junior left fielder. This game scoreless. Laurel Highlands and TJ. Section 3, 5A baseball. Evan Voighton's first pitch here to Fairman. Swing and a miss, strike one.
And nice pitcher by Voighton. Actually kind of nibbled on the outside corner a little bit.
Going back to the bottom half of the first inning, Ian Logue threw 14 pitches. For Thomas Jefferson, Voighton throwing 20 for the Mustangs back in the top half of the first inning as Fairman fouls that one off. I don't know if you got an opportunity to read a couple of the articles today in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette about the pitch counts affecting high school baseball games this season. And of the coaches surveyed, it seems like the majority of them, though, favored or had no opinion in regards to the pitch count rule.
Well, until they cited the games that changed because of...
Correct. And here's Fairman sending it high in the air to Greg Lancaster and left. He'll get under it and make the grab for the first out of this top half of the second inning, which is being brought to you by Tracy Vargo for Recorder of Deeds in Fayette County.
Yeah, and I did read that article in the Post-Gazette, and actually it was kind of funny. They cited, 4 or 5 different examples of how games changed.
Didn't have any of the Laurel Highlands games, though, that we saw.
No, it didn't, but you could have thrown them in there. That's
I'm sure.
Well, you figure the first time against McKeesport. And
correct.
You also had one, Franklin Regional, too?
Correct.
Yeah. So.
That pitch in there for a strike to Luke Galliotto.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more examples that we don't know about, but that's what we said, too. That's why those section races are tight now, because the pitching rules and the counts have changed everything.
0-1 now on the way to Galliotto. Misses low and inside, even up the count at 1-1.
Well, we even said the other day we had Vaughna pitching for Laurel Highlands, and then Edenfield came in relief.
That was Edenfield's first official appearance of the season.
Right, but he ended up throwing 87 pitches.
Correct, in relief.
In relief, so still.
1-1 on the way, and that one misses low and outside, hops away from Chad Pentris, but no damage done with no one on.
But that's what we said. I personally think that it doesn't let the best team win, to be honest with you, unless you have enough pitching. But it's kind of tough to have 4 or 5 pitchers in a high school team. So. And
I even said to you after the starters came out, Tony, you probably don't have to keep the pitch count numbers. Not going to really need those. And then you have Edenfield getting over 80 pitches. Good thing you kept tracking them throughout the course of the game.
That's what not that I had a feeling we were going to 11, but I knew we might as well keep track of it just in case.
You never know what's going to happen, that's for sure.
Well, and this way, too, it would be information for Coach DeBerry, too, in case he needed it going into the next game, knowing if he could throw or not. So.
Count now 3-1 to Galliotto. And he'll take that pitch for a strike, and we'll go full of 3-2. The Mustangs also used Greg Lancaster on back-to-back days. Lancaster pitched on Tuesday against Albert Gallatin, and then again on Wednesday against McKeesport.
Right, and I look back, I think he only threw 10 pitches in that win against McKeesport, so it wasn't too bad.
3-2 on the way. There's a line drive to right center field, and the ball will drop out of the reach of Derek Gasebauer. He'll circle back and line it in to Travis Sankovic, but it's a stand-up, one-out double for Luke Galliotto.
Pretty nice shot. Gasebauer gave it a pretty good effort. Actually, it was pretty impressive how that ball just stopped on
it. Did.
I mean, didn't even have a chance to roll to the fence, kind of hit the ground and stayed right there. So Gasebauer made a nice play, just holding it to a double.
Looks like the outfield was mowed as well over the last couple of days. We got some of the dandelions out there taken down.
If you got here earlier, maybe the coaches were doing
They might have been. Who knows?
Yeah.
They're cutting the infield when I got here. The outfield was already cut, and now Mike Huber, the designated hitter, will come to the plate, and Voighton will step off. And among the new pitch rules, no matter how many innings they pitch, pitchers are no longer able to pitch on 3 consecutive days, as Huber sends a ground ball here, fielded by Arminio. Long throw over to first in time to McManus. Now the throw back to third. Oh. And after it initially looked like the call might be out at third, it's changed to safe, very close, but they do record the out at first. 5-3 on Huber, but Galliotto advances down to third. It looked like he kind of had a half out and then a full safe signal out there.
I think he actually dropped the ball when he applied the tag, so I'm not so sure. But by our vantage point, he was out. If he didn't drop that ball, he's out right there. That would have been a double play for the Mustangs.
Now Josh Reynolds, the 4th Jag, to come to the plate here in the top half of the second inning. Facing Evan Voighton with Galliotto on third. Voighton's first pitch. Fastball misses low, but as I was saying before the hit from Huber, you can no longer pitch on 3 consecutive days. If you pitch on back-to-back days, even if it's an inning or even one pitch on each occasion, you can't go on the 3rd consecutive day. Of course, the Mustangs had an off day yesterday, so they would be able to use Lancaster again today if needed. And here's another line drive over the head of Josh Burns into center field. It will score Luke Galliotto, so an RBI there for the sophomore third baseman Josh Reynolds, and the Jags take an early 1-0 lead here in the top half of the second inning.
And now we see what a big play that was with that double play. So we'll have to watch it on Jerry's replay here on Sunday night, I'm going to guess. But like I said, Arminio made a great backhanded stop there. Nice throw to first. And
Jerry will have the replay queued up.
Oh, sure. He'll be ready to rock and roll for us. So.
And we'll see how close it actually was down the third base line. And he'll have the... If you missed it, the Laurel Highlands Franklin Regional game from Monday will be replayed twice on Saturday. And for you folks on the radio side, this game will be on the air on Sunday as well. And both games should be up on YouTube over the weekend as well. Just search South Union Television. So plenty of ways to follow the Mustangs, whether it's on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, the MSA Sports Network, the South Union Township Sports Network, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, or on YouTube. Or worldwide, Tony.
Worldwide is correct, so... And you do have a lot of people watching those games, that's for sure.
We'll check over at first. Reynolds slides back safely. Bobby Kelly, the catcher, batting from the number 9 position, now at the plate, senior. With the Jags holding a 1-0 lead here as we work in the top half of the second inning. First pitch to Kelly, and therefore a strike 0-1.
Nice pitch by Voighton, and we're kind of expecting a high-scoring game here. I'm not so sure what to expect now. Logue threw a pretty nice first inning. Voighton's doing pretty well as well, so maybe another tight one for the Mustangs.
Let's see how things shake out, and there's a little nub into shallow left, and backing up is Sankovic, the shortstop, to make the grab for the third out of the inning, but the Jags pick up a run, an RBI from Josh Reynolds, run scored from Luke Galliotto, and TJ leads 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning here in the law firm of Franklin and Dehas High School Sports Day.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank. At your service.
We're back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. Derek Gasebauer, Ian Edenfield, and Evan Voighton due up for the Mustangs here in the bottom half of the second inning. Dean Logue still on the mound for Thomas Jefferson, threw 14 pitches back in the first inning. The Mustangs getting the triple from Hudson Novak back in the first, but Novak unable to score. Now Derek Gasebauer lead off the bottom half of the second inning. First pitch from Ian Logue, a fastball missing high and inside for ball one. In this bottom half of the second inning being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the Peachin Superfood Mart.
Yeah, Gasebauer coming in with a season .357 average. 2 home runs and 8 RBIs so far for the Mustangs.
Fouls off that pitch. Gasebauer is 6'195" senior. Count now even at 1-1.
And Gaysbauer was 1 for 4 last time they played Thomas Jefferson. So
1-1 pitch here. Misses low to Derek. Count it 2-1. Things have certainly cooled off. Again, we started the game at 74 degrees under cloudy skies. Actually felt a little bit warmer when the sun was out when I got here, and things continue to cool down. That pitch fouled off. Count now even at 2-2.
The rains are coming, I think, eventually, but hopefully not till 7 innings are complete, put it that way.
And hopefully they can keep the field in playable conditions for tomorrow's home game against Gateway as well. An 11 a.m. first pitch here at Landman Field. 2-2 pitch here on the way. In there for strike 3. So Gaysbauer goes down looking at strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Ian Logue, and one away here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Yeah, not so sure Gaysbauer agreed with that call, but looked like it kind of caught the outside corner.
Now Ian Edenfield coming to the plate, the Mustangs' designated hitter. He's a 6'4", 225 junior, batting .324, with no homers and 5 RBIs.
And as we mentioned, Edenfield kind of solidified a spot in his pitching rotation.
I would think
today,
so. Takes the first pitch here for strike 1.
As we said, the only downside of that was he wasn't eligible to get the win.
No. He couldn't obviously throw today after throwing 86 pitches. In fact, he'll require 3 days rest after that. He won't be able to throw again until Monday when the Mustangs travel to Woodland Hills to take on the Wolverines. 0-2 pitch here, in there for strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts here for Ian Logue, both looking, sending down Gaysbauer and Edenfield as Logue starts to get into the groove of things here for the Jags, and 2 away now in the bottom half of the second inning.
Yeah, actually kind of impressed with Logue here so far, keeping the ball down. A lot of strikes, nibbling on the corner, so works quick and doing a very nice job here so far for the Jaguars.
Now Evan Voighton in the starting lineup for the Mustangs today, batting from the left side, takes ball 1 outside. The Mustangs DHing for Greg Lancaster today. Lancaster struggled a little bit at the plate against McKeesport on Wednesday. Another pitch missing low and outside, counted 2-0.
Yeah, he was in a little bit of a funk on Wednesday, but did a nice job in the outfield, so defensively strong for the Mustangs.
Boynton taking another pitch there, and just like that, the count at 3-0. Lancaster actually started off the season pretty hot at the plate. His average is up around 500 now, closer to the 300 mark, actually 286 at this juncture of the season. I'll try to warm back up for the stretch run.
You know, it's going to be important to have his bat ready to go for the Mustangs.
3-0 pitch right down the pipe. I think Voighton was taking all the way there. Voighton again came into this game with a .333 average and 2 RBIs. He's a 6'2", 170 junior coming to the plate here with 2 outs and nobody on. And a 3-1 pitch from Ian Logue. And that pitch misses low for ball 4. So after Logue strikes out Gaysbauer and Edenfield, Voighton walks with 2 outs. That'll bring up Chad Petrus, the catcher. Chad, a 5'10", 180 junior, batting .250 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs so far this season.
Oh, we have courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner Dylan Bonner in there for the pitcher Evan Voighton.
Right. And Bonner pitched well the other day, too,
he
for
did.
the Mustangs. Yeah, just kind of ran out of gas, got a high pitch count there through 4 innings, 5 innings, and just kind of ran out of gas.
First pitch to Petrus, kind of one-hops, and the catcher, Bobby Kelly, loses sight of it. Actually deflected off to his left, and that allows Bonner to get down to second base.
Yeah, he kind of stood up and hit off his shin guard and bounced halfway out to the pitcher's mound. Not much he could do right there.
A wild bounce.
Yes, it was.
So now Bonner in scoring position. And a 1-0 count here to Chad Petrus.
Well, and we said over the last couple of weeks with these section losses, you got to have the Mustangs score runs. They've left a lot of runners in scoring position, a lot of men on base, so need something here.
1-0 pitch fouled back by Chad. Evens up the count at 1-1.
And we saw that in the first inning. Hudson Novak tripled but got stranded at third base, so Mustangs need to score some more runs.
That was a problem for Laurel Highlands, especially going back to Monday when Laurel Highlands stranded 11 against Franklin Regional. 1-1 pitch here hits Chad Petrus. That caught him on the side of the hand.
Yeah, and that looked like that hurt.
It did.
Especially for a catcher, too, to get hit there.
Mike Smith will come over and take a look at it.
They'll be getting the freeze out there.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Quick injury timeout brought to you by the Centers for Rehab Services, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive or call 724-437-7500. The Centers for Rehab Services. Relief is closer than you think. And the Mustangs would have an option here with Petrus being the catcher of using a courtesy runner. They chose not to use a courtesy runner for Petrus on Wednesday at McKeesport just due to Chad's speed on the base paths. But just to make sure that he's all right now, that might be a good idea.
No, and actually he had a couple stolen bases as well.
He did.
Down at McKeesport, so yeah, pretty good runner for a catcher, but I would think you might want to take him out here now just to give him a little breather. I'm sure there's some speed on the bench, but just to give him a little breather and kind of shake that off a little bit. It looks like he's still
staying in there, though.
Yeah, but he's still in a little bit of pain as well. So we had the trainer, Bill Logue, come out and take a look at him, but like I said, they left him in, so.
That'll bring up Josh Burns. Burns, the fifth Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the second inning, batting 189 with 6 RBIs. He's a 5'8", 160 junior. Has had some big hits for Laurel Highlands this week. First pitch here to Burns, fouled off on the right side.
Yeah, and actually dropped down a extremely nice bunt the other day down at McKeesport. Ended up leading to a Mustang run, so.
Had a pretty good week.
Yes. Like I said, base hit here will cure a lot of ails.
Logue now getting set with the 0-1 hit to Burns. Pitch is on the way. Misses low and inside, even up the count at 1-1. Mustangs with the courtesy runner Bana on second, Petrus on first. 2 outs as we work here in the bottom half of the second inning, and Thomas Jefferson leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 1-0.
And the Mustangs coming in with a .319 overall batting average team-wise, so.
Logue's 1-1 from the stretch. Swing and a miss there from Burns. Count now moves to 1-2.
Another thing kind of impressive, too, the Mustangs 9 home runs as a team, so can hit the long ball.
Not bad considering Laurel Highlands has played only 12 games so far this season.
Right. I was actually kind of looking ahead at the stats. I looked at Gateways. They don't have any home runs at all for the season.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Kind of looking ahead for tomorrow.
And we'll see the Gators on Saturday, an 11 a.m. first pitch here at Laurel Highlands. Will head to Gateway next Thursday. 4 o'clock first pitch. We'll have that game on the radio as well next Thursday for you.
I'm just hoping we can get tomorrow in.
1-2 pitch, a little number here from Burns, and the grab made by the second baseman, Luke Galliotto. So the Mustangs strand 2, and it's still 1-0 TJ after 2 on the law firm of Franklin and Diaz High School Sports Day.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
We're back here at Landman Field for the top half of the third inning. Thomas Jefferson leading Laurel Highlands by a score of 1-0. And at the top of the order up in Kevin Rehack, followed by Zane Zandier and Luke Warhola. Evan Voighton still on the mound for Laurel Highlands, and his 35th pitch of the game is high and outside for ball one to Kevin Rehack. He'll be here a week from Monday when Laurel Highlands plays their final conference home game of the year. It'll be Nick Barczyk bobblehead night here at Landman Field. The Barry Rosner bobblehead night was such a success last year. They've brought it back with Nick, and Nick will be on the mic with Gary Frankhauser for that game. I'll be out of town next Monday. It'll be a week from Monday, and Nick will be here, and he'll autograph your bobbleheads up in the press box.
Nice. There we go. Well, the nice part was the Barry Rosner bobblehead night was for a Uniontown Laurel Highlands game. So there was
it was big.
Yeah.
It was big.
They only gave it to the first 20,000. So.
Yes. That pitch in there for a strike to Rehack. Rehack singled to left field back in the first inning. Has a 1-2 count on him right now.
And Voighton being pretty conservative with pitches here so far today, so it's a good thing for the Mustangs.
That ball fouled off by Rehack. Brian Morozak alongside Tony Hanula and Jerry Dupay here at the game. Nick Barczyk pushing the buttons back at WNBS Central, doing a fine job. As always, good guy to have some fun with.
I would agree.
1-2 pitch on the way, and a line drive shot here to deep left center field, but Novak getting under it and making the grab for the first down of the inning. And Novak making that look very routine.
Yeah, he did that actually, too, down at McKeesport the other day. Made a couple shots that we thought were going to be trouble for the Mustangs, and Novak tracked it down without a problem. So pretty smooth center fielder, as we mentioned before. A LaRoche recruit, so going down there to play some baseball for LaRoche College. So
good to see many former Mustangs actually currently playing collegiate baseball, and nice to see that kids can graduate here from Laurel Highlands and go on to some big things on the next level. As the first pitch here high and inside to Zane Zandier, the three-sports star for Thomas Jefferson, struck out looking back in the first inning. Now the 1-0 here from Voighton, swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 1-1 to Zandier. This half inning being brought to you by General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek.
And actually, I've been kind of following some things here, and actually saw that a couple of last year's graduates, Luke Paul and Zach Uhazy, on the Fairmont State team, and Don Peroni on the Potomac State team. So actually, all three of them doing pretty well. And also on that Fairmont State team is former Uniontown Red Raider Luke Wallace. So
really nice to see.
Yeah, as well as Ted Sova. So a lot of local representation in the college game here around the area.
Laurel Highlands has certainly had some nice teams over the last 10 to 15 years. Pitch there in for a strike. Second strike on Zandier. Count even at 2-2, and looking to get into the postseason again here for 2017. Currently a game up over Albert Gallatin for that fourth and final playoff spot in the conference.
Right. And we have, Albert Gallatin off day today? Was that correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
They played four straight this week, 2-2 pitch misses, and we'll go full of 3-2. They'll be off again until Monday. And the Mustangs with Gateway on the docket tomorrow, and then an away game Monday at Woodland Hills. 3-2 pitch here, Voighton to Zandier in the dirt for ball four. So Zandier picking up a one-out walk here in the top half of the third inning to give the Jags another base runner, with Luke Warhola coming to the plate.
Now that's the first walk here today by Voighton. So
correct.
Zandier got caught looking the first time up and walked this time up. So
Voighton's given up 4 hits so far in this game. Singles to Rehack and Warhola in the first, a double to Galliotto in the second, and then the RBI single to Josh Reynolds in the second inning as well. First pitch here, an off-speed pitch missing to Luke Warhola. Count at 1-0.
Almost looks like Thomas Jefferson being a little more deliberate here with Voighton.
They are.
Kind of take some more pitches and try to get his pitch count up a little bit. So
imagine it was 34 after 2 innings. We'll check of the runner here at first, and head first slide back safely for Zandier.
That play was actually a little closer than we thought. Zandier kind of had his legs up, and McManus almost able to put the tag on him there before he reached back to the bags.
Like a butterfly stroke.
Yes, he was, yeah.
1-0 pitch. Another one-hopper. Well blocked by Chad Petrus.
Yeah, Petrus did a nice job getting his body out in front of that pitch, keeping it in front of him. So good job to keep Zandier at first base.
And Chad seems okay after getting hit last half inning at the plate.
Especially on that catching hand. That's pretty tough, but pretty tough kid behind the plate, so good for him.
2-0 pitch down to Warhola. Swing and a miss there. Warhola out in front of that one.
Yeah, pretty nice off-speed pitch here by Voighton. Actually looked like kind of a circle change there. Had Warhola well ahead of it.
Has done a nice job to mix up his pitches so far in this game is Evan Voighton.
Yeah, Voighton with 1 strikeout and 1 walk so far here today, and both on Zandier, so.
We'll step off the mound here. It's still 1-0 Thomas Jefferson. The Jags with a runner on first and 1 out as we work here in the top half of the third inning.
And the Mustangs playing pretty much straight away in the outfield as well.
2-1, another breaking ball and a one-hopper blocked again by Petrus. Count moves to 3-1.
And that's already 15 pitches here so far for Voighton, so.
49 now for the game.
Yeah. Kind of getting in that troubled area early in the third inning.
Has yielded only 1 run so far. 3-1 pitch here, low for ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Voighton to Zandier and Warhola here in the top half of the third inning. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Ian Logue, who hit into a double play, a line drive right at Mason McManus, the first baseman, who just stepped on the bag and doubled off Warhola back in the first inning to end the first inning. Now a little meeting here on the mound between Scott DeBerry, Laurel Highlands head coach, Chad Petrus, the catcher, and the Mustang pitcher, Evan Voighton.
Yeah, and actually, Coach DeBerry beat Coach Joe LaPresta, the pitching coach, out to the mound there. Both of them saw something, and actually I think what was happening was Voighton's kind of standing straight up rather than trying to follow through there, and we saw the last 3 pitches in the dirt that Petrus had to block, so coming out and giving him a little pep talk as well as telling him to kind of watch your form a little bit and follow through. So
and certainly a little instruction given that time by Laurel Highlands head coach Scott DeBerry. So now the Jags threatening a little bit here with 2 on and 1 out, already up 1-0. The cleanup hitter, Ian Logue, coming to the plate. That was a well-hit ball that Logue hit back in the first inning that McManus snagged down at first.
Yeah, he nailed it, is right, but McManus played him perfectly.
And he'll foul off the first pitch here on the near side, and they counted 0-1.
A little surprised here. We have Josh Burns trying to keep Zandier close to second base, opening up a big hole on the right side.
You know, Zandier, great athlete. As we said, a football star, starter on the Thomas Jefferson basketball team, starter in left field here on the baseball team. Certainly has his options as far as what sport he wants to play on the next level. Another nice breaking ball there from Voighton finding the strike zone. Ian Logue now behind 0-2.
And it's rare you find any more 3-sport athletes the way they try to pigeonhole you into a certain sport here anymore. So
and more kids specializing in sports these days than back in our day, as another one fouled off there by Ian Logue.
That's it. Try to keep everybody wanted to play as many sports as they can. Now it's like, okay, you got to pick one and try to do the best you can in that, which I'm not so. And
you're usually working at that sport 12 months out of the year as well, and a lot of times the burnout effect kicks in as well.
Yeah.
Another 0-2 on the way, and that one misses inside. Now 1-2, Voighton to Logue. It's nice to mix things up a little bit so you don't get not only burned out, but add a little variety in your life.
Oh, definitely. Definitely so.
Now the 1-2 pitch on the way, and this ball nubbed in the shallow center field. And it's Josh Burns making the grab from the second base position, backing up, and a nice grab there from Burns. That could have been trouble.
It was a nice play. Burns kind of had him positioned perfectly as well. As we mentioned, he was kind of holding Zandier there. It's close to second base, and it was fortunate that that little flare was able to be tracked down by Burns where he was playing, so worked out pretty well for the Mustangs.
Sun now peeking out again from the clouds as Garrett Fairman will step in. Fairman led off the second inning for Thomas Jefferson with a fly out to Greg Lancaster out and left. So 0-1 today for the Jags junior, coming to the plate here with 2 outs in the top half of the third. And the Jags up 1-0 over Laurel Highlands. Voighton from the stretch. First pitch here to Fairman, and there for a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, nice breaking pitch there by Voighton. It looks like that little pep talk by Coach DeBerry kind of helped him out and made him think a little bit more about following through there. So
looks like a different pitcher since.
Yes, he has. A couple nice pitches after the chat.
Now we'll step off here and have another glance back at Zandier at second base.
Yeah, Zandier not with a very big lead, so. And actually, McManus playing behind the runner, Warhol at first base, so. Just trying to get a third out and get out of this inning.
Now the 0-1, runners going, and the pitch was high, and no throw there from the catcher Petrus.
Yeah.
Might have been blocked there a little bit by Fairman.
Well, I think he was blocked, but I think he had trouble getting it out of his glove, too, so. Looks like he had, he came up ready to throw, but looks like he just had a little trouble in the exchange, so. Now we have runners on second and third here for Thomas Jefferson, so. Big situation right now for Voighton. Two outs.
Zandier down to third, Warhol at second. 1-1 pitch here on the way. Swing and a miss from Fairman. Count moves to 1-2.
Again, a nice breaking ball by Voighton. Not a lot of heat on his pitches, but throws a pretty nice breaking ball here for the Mustangs. So
certainly a big sequence here. 1-2 on the way. Another breaking ball found off on the right side by Fairman.
Yeah, but
count remains 1-2.
And as we mentioned, pretty expensive inning here for Voighton. 25 pitches so far.
And that puts him up to 59 already for the game as we continue to work here in the top half of the third inning.
Right. And that's what we said, walks in the high school game's tough, boy.
And pitch number 60, high and inside, a little chin music there on Fairman. Evens up the count at 2-2.
And really can't afford a walk here. On deck is Galliotto, who doubled in the second inning to drive in Thomas Jefferson's first run.
Ended up scoring that run.
I'm sorry, yes.
Josh Reynolds drove him home.
I felt a little raindrop there as well,
yep.
Brian, yeah.
It's interesting because I was looking at the forecast before coming over here, and there was no chance of rain at all until the early morning hours. 2-2 pitch here, low. Count will move full at 3-2. One of the reasons we set up outside, but I guess you could always expect the unexpected at times.
Yeah.
Hopefully Jerry brought the rain gear for the camera.
Don't worry, if I'm involved, there'll be rain or there'll be something. Trust me.
Usually some thunder and lightning, right?
Yeah.
On 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Big pitch here for Evan Voighton. It's on the way and high and inside for ball 4 to load up the bases. So the third walk of the inning issued by Evan Voighton. Luke Galliotto will be the 6th Jag to come to the plate here in the bottom half of the third inning, and will come to the plate with the bases loaded after, as Tony said, he doubled back in the second inning.
Yeah, and actually doubled. Pretty nice effort by Gaysbauer, but didn't have a chance to catch it. And we can see Gaysbauer kind of trying to play in the same spot he did the last time Galliotto was up, so kind of favoring his right side back there in right field.
First pitch here to Galliotto. Misses low at the knees. Oh, they did call that a strike. Wow.
Wow. I thought it was outside as well.
So 0-1.
Yeah, Voighton will take that call, though.
Mustangs needed it. Now the 0-1 fouled off. Just like that, 2 strikes on Luke Galliotto.
And this be a big out here for the Mustangs. Surely don't want to get a bigger hole here. Already down 1-0. Bases loaded, 2 outs, so.
A couple of umbrellas already popping up.
Yeah. Come on. Got to be women.
0-2 pitch. Fouled off again.
They're worried about their hair.
I don't know about that. I think that's a guy over there. It is a guy over there. He's waving at you. He's listening to the radio broadcast. You're going to make fun of somebody and he has you on. What are you going to do?
He's giving it to us over there. TP, he got us going over there, huh?
Now the 0-2 on the way. Another one fouled off. Kind of ironic.
Long-time baseball fan Tom Palacia over there.
I think he's been out of games, he said, for over 40 years.
Oh, he has score books from years gone by as well. So, Tom, he's keeping score here today as well. He's flashing us the score book. So,
good to see. Nice local fan for sure.
He's known to catch anywhere between 125, 150 games a year. So, You go to a baseball field, you're going to see Tom Palacia there. So
probably always has his umbrella out. Another 0-2 pitch now on the way. This ball nubbed back towards the pitcher, Voighton. Make the throw over to McManus at first. Routine to end the inning. So Thomas Jefferson leaving 3 stranded as Voighton issued walks to Zandier, Warhola, and Fairman. But the Mustangs get out of the inning without yielding a run. Still 1-0. TJ over Laurel Highlands heading to the bottom half of the third here in the lot from Franklin Diaz High School Sports Day. As we come back, for you folks on the TV side, there's a look at the longtime public address announcer for Laurel Highlands baseball, Barry Rosner, battling the bees up there in the press box as his can of bee spray take off to his right. Was complaining about the bees earlier. He's up there doing a nice job, as always, on the public address and keeping the scoreboard going as well here at Landman Field.
And that's one thing we rarely see, too, when we go to these high school games. A lot of times the scoreboard's not working, so.
Correct. I think this is the only venue we've been at all season where it's worked.
Yeah.
Only done, of course, a handful of road games. Arminio takes strike one. It's Arminio, Sankovic, and Novak due up for the Mustangs. Top of the order to lead off this bottom half of the third with Laurel Highlands down 1-0 to Thomas Jefferson. 0-1 pitch here. Another breaking ball in there for a strike, and just like that, Arminio behind 0-2.
We said Logue, he likes to work fast, that's for sure.
He's in a groove. 34 pitches through 2 innings.
Yeah, and after that last inning, we have Voighton up to 67 pitches through 3. So
0-2 pitch here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So the third strikeout of the game for Ian Logue. Arminio now 0 for 2 and 1 out here in the bottom half of the third inning, which is being brought to you by Russ Blejo, your local Allstate insurance agent. Remember, you're in good hands with Russ Blejo and Allstate. The only hit that Logue's given up was that triple to Hudson Novak back in the first inning.
Right. And the Mustangs stranded him at third base. So
Sankovic, first pitch swinging here. Fair ball down the first baseline. Sank rounding first on his way to second on the field of David Lee. And sliding into second safely, Travis Sankovic.
Good job, Brian. Broke the streak. Actually got Sankovic. Nice shot there. Nice play down there, or nice try at least. First base from Warhola, but just couldn't get to it. Sankovic pulled it straight down the line.
Now into scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom half of the third inning. And the meat of the Mustang order now coming up with Hudson Novak, who had that triple back in the first inning. Yeah. Novak actually got a second crack at that triple after a foul ball right in front of the bullpen was dropped by Luke Warhola, giving him a reprieve at the plate, and he certainly took advantage. But unfortunately for Laurel Highlands, they couldn't drive him in.
Right.
Novak takes ball 1 here.
Novak coming into this game with 18 RBIs, batting average of .396.
Pair of home runs as well.
Yeah, so.
For the 6'3", 190 senior.
Looking for his 19th RBI of the year.
A 1-0 pitch inside, count now at 2-0.
And nobody warming up yet either in the Laurel Highlands bullpen. I'm sure they're going to try to ride Voighton as long as they can.
And certainly get another inning out of him at least.
Yeah, but you got to figure, too, you're going to have to go with somebody here, so.
2-0 pitch. Novak sends it high in the air into left field. Garrett Fairman getting under it and making the grab, and Sankovic having to hold up at second base. That's now 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third.
Yeah, Novak just dropped that back shoulder just a hair. Barely missed the pitch, but ended up just a long fly ball to Fairman in left field.
Well, Pirates baseball on the way later on tonight on WMBS. They're in Miami tonight?
They are in Miami. They won't get rained out tonight.
Inside, 6:45 pregame on the radio side, 7:10 first pitch.
Jamison Ty on the mound for the Pirates here tonight.
Mason McManus now at the plate, runner going, and the pitch, and McManus hits in the gap in right center, and that ball is caught. Nice run there from David Lee to retire McManus to end the innings. The Mustangs end up stranding Sankovic, and after 3, it's still 1-0. Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands on the lot from Franklin D. High School Sports Day.
You don't have to travel to Pittsburgh to get good representation. We've been doing it since 1976. We've been successful. We can help you right here at home.
We know the nuances of the legal system in Uniontown and Fayette County. We know the nuances of the legal system in Waynesburg and in Washington.
We know the system. We know where the courthouse is, and we know where to park. And at our office, you can park for free.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
We're back for the top half of the 4th inning. Mike Huber leading off the inning for Thomas Jefferson.
And we talked earlier during the break, Logue only 8 pitches that last inning. Pitch count for him is 42 through 3 compared to 67 for Voighton. So
Voighton now at 68. This will be pitch number 69. The 0-1 pitch here to Mike Huber. And Huber sends this one into left center field. Again, Hudson Novak on his horse, backing up and making another grab. And boy, Novak again making it look easy out there in center field.
Yeah, I think at first he was fooled and actually kind of broke in on the ball a little bit, but retreated pretty quickly and made a nice catch.
And a quick out for the Mustangs, a much-needed quick out here in the top half of the 4th inning, being brought to you by the Uniontown Hospital, making a healthy difference in the lives they touch. Now Josh Reynolds coming to the plate. He had that RBI single for TJ back in the 2nd inning.
And as we mentioned, Voighton trying to duplicate Logue here. An 8-pitch inning would be wonderful for the Mustangs and Voighton.
Reynolds fouls this one off. Back onto the hill. Counted 0-1.
Yeah, Reynolds, as we mentioned, singled in the run for Thomas Jefferson in the 2nd. So 1 for 1 for the day here so far.
Nobody on here for this at-bat. With one out here in the top of the 4th, and his Jags up 1-0, and a ball into the dirt there from Evan Voighton.
Yeah, tried to get him to chase that curveball, but Reynolds wouldn't bite.
Again, we're back for another simulcast for the Laurel Highlands Gateway game Saturday morning here on WMBS, 11 a.m. first pitch, 10:45 Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the radio side, and of course replays on the South Union Township Sports Network as well. Ball inside to Josh Reynolds. Got now 2-1. You'll be on the mic again with me tomorrow, Tony.
Yep.
Gary tied up. He'll be back with me next week.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if I see you out at Gateway next Thursday.
I kind of had that feeling too. So
2-1 pitch on the way. That was ruled a ball, low and inside. Gary hasn't given me his full schedule. I know he'll definitely be here Wednesday for the Mustangs in Greater Latrobe, and he said he'll be here the following Monday for the Laurel Highlands AG game, which I will not be at. It'll be Gary and Nick for that one. 3-1 pitch. That one's in there for a strike as well, and we're full at 3-2.
Yeah, actually got that call on the outside corner. And as I mentioned in the past, Brian, I tell everybody I'm the John Wayner of this group. When you can't find Steve Blass or Bob Walk, give me a call. I'll be there. We can handle it.
Payoff pitch on the way, and that one high and inside for ball 4. And mentioned Bob Walk. He's actually been away for the last couple of games. His father passed away, unfortunately. So our best wishes out to the Walks.
Yeah, I enjoy listening to him. He's a good color guy for the Pirates. I actually enjoy listening to him a lot. So got a pretty good crew with Steve Blass as well, and even Wayner. I enjoy him too.
Joe Block had some local ties as well, coming from the Brewers organization before last season.
Right.
Worked with Bob Euchre. Bobby Kelly taking the first pitch low. I think that was the biggest transition problem, I think, for Block. You go going from working with somebody like Euchre to working in more of a traditional booth. I think that would take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Because Euchre's anything but traditional.
Yeah, he's adjusted pretty well, though.
That's for sure. Voighton checking over at first.
Yeah, and that throw over caught Reynolds. Looked like it caught him in the right thigh there.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's kind of shaking it off a little bit too. I'll give him credit, though. He didn't rub it. So,
no, that's for sure.
We'll give him credit for that.
And Bobby Kelly still at the plate. A 1-0 lead for Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands. A 1-0 counts here. The pitch on the way high and inside again.
And Petra's going to go out and check with Voighton here, kind of standing straight up again and kind of losing control of his pitches here. So also have McManus coming in to give him a little pep talk and let him know what's going on. I think Coach LaPresta had given McManus some instruction there, so don't want to make that mound visit just yet.
No. It certainly seemed to help when you had Scott DeBerry come out to talk to Voighton back in the third inning. A couple of balls here after walking Reynolds, and the count at 2-0 to Bobby Kelly with Reynolds on first and one out here in the top half of the fourth. This pitch again high and inside as Voighton's control issues continue, and you might see some activity soon in the Mustang bullpen.
Yeah. Voighton already with 4 walks today, so trying to avoid a 5th one here.
Has issued, as Tony said, some walks, but given up only 1 run. Finds the strike zone there as the count moves to 3-1.
Yeah, the Mustangs fortunate to get out of a bases-loaded jam last inning. So.
After walks were issued to Fairman, Orhola, and Zandier back in the third.
And it looks like we're going to have somebody go warm up for the Mustangs here as well.
3-1 on the way. That one fouled off. That's the Mad Hungarian Jordan Eicher.
There you go.
And we saw him pitch a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the Woodland Hills game he saw some late action.
Okay.
5'11", 250 senior.
And let's see if we can get some numbers for him. Eicher with a 4.67 ERA. 2 appearances for the Mustangs so far, so.
A big 3-2 pitch here from Evan Voighton to Bobby Kelly. Before he delivers, he'll check Josh Reynolds again over at first.
Making sure he's not going to take off on this 3-2 pitch.
Eicher's worked only 3 innings all season long for the Mustangs. You say giving up 2 earned runs. Another check at first.
Well, as we mentioned, with this long week for the Mustangs, 5 games.
And you don't have too many options. Of course, Edenfield able to throw today, and you look through the pitching staff. Novak started the other day, and you're going to have a game tomorrow as well.
Right.
You have to plan something out on that end. Now the payoff pitch on the way, runner going, and the pitcher's ruled off the plate for ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Evan Voighton. We'll put Reynolds now down at second and Kelly on first. And we'll see if the Mustangs make a move here to the bullpen.
Yeah, Voighton already up to 81 pitches here, so.
Thrown 14 already. Here in the bottom half of the top half of the fourth. This might be it for Evan Voighton.
Yeah, Coach DeBerry going to come out, and he may see one more batter, but I'm going to guess that this could be it.
Maybe giving Eicher a little more time down there to loosen up.
Now he's gone back-to-back walks here so far. Only 1 out here in the 4th inning for TJ, so 81 pitch count, and as we mentioned, that's already his 5th walk for the day, so.
Until Eicher hurrying up his warm-up tosses a little bit on the right side. And we'll see if that's it. No, Voighton's going to remain in the game.
I think he's going to see one more batter maybe. Coach DeBerry looking down at the bullpen but not making a move here yet, so.
Going to be facing here the top of the order, and Kevin Rehack.
Yeah, I think he's given Coach LaPresta the sign to let him know as soon as he's ready, so I think this is going to be the last batter for Voighton. If something doesn't happen, good. Maybe a double play ball here for the Mustangs be
if you're Rehack,
helpful.
Might not mind taking a couple of pitches here, considering the fact that Voighton's had some control issues as of late, but he'll swing at the first pitch here and send it through on the left side. And the Jags will go station to station. Holding up at third is Josh Reynolds. So a single to left field. And looks like Tanner Mineo, after making a diving attempt, a little slow in getting up.
Yeah, he tried to stretch out and jump out and get that ball, and he's telling trainer Bill Logue that he's fine, so kind of like landing on concrete out there today anyway. So
Eicher's jogging back.
He's ready to go. So
now Voighton talking with Chad Petrus, the Mustang catcher. They're giving Tanner Mineo now some time down at third.
I think is in the hockey realm, I think it would be a lower body injury. How's
Correct.
That? Yes, a lower body injury for Nathaniel. So
they're going to let Voighton stay in the game.
That's kind of surprising. Eicher seemed ready to go, but
now it's Zane Zandier at the plate. He's dangerous. Struck out and walked, though, so far in this game. He'll take the first pitch here for ball one.
Yeah, and he was stranded at third base in the last inning in that rally that failed for the TJ Jaguars. So
Jags an opportunity to blow this game open here in the top half of the fourth. 1-0 pitch on the way, inside again to Zandier. Now 2-0.
Yeah, didn't miss by much there, so.
We'd have to think if Zandier reaches in any regards, that's it for Voighton.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I'm trying to get the most out of him at this juncture. 2-0 pitch. That one right down the pipe for a strike, a much-needed strike on the Mustang side.
And as we can see, we mentioned it earlier, Thomas Jefferson being a lot more selective at the plate, making Voighton throw a lot of pitches. Already 18 pitches so far this inning.
Now the 2-1 on the way. Fastball high again. Count of 3-1.
I think Voighton thought he had a strike there. Looked like a pretty good pitch, although we have a bad angle here where we're sitting, but I don't think he was too pleased with that call.
Nowhere to put Zandier. The bases loaded.
Yeah, infield in on the corners, playing deep for the double play. And
need a strike here from Evan Voighton. He gets it right down the middle, so we're full 3-2. Still one out here in the inning. Bases loaded. Evan Voighton facing Zane Zandier. Third time through the lineup for the Jags. Zandier, the fifth Jaguar to bat here in the top half of the fourth inning.
And as we mentioned, he struck out the first time up and walked the second time. So
big 3-2 pitch here from Evan Voighton, and Zandier pops it up in foul territory over the fence and out of play to stay alive. Also recently mowed that hill, it looks like, as well.
Yeah.
On the right side.
Can never figure out why they never put a net from the batting, from the end of the screen here all the way to the press box, but
the ball's certainly a little easier to find right now. Another 3-2 pitch on the way, and Zandier takes it low for ball four, and then a walk in a run.
And that's Zandier's second walk of the day.
Third walk of this inning issued by Voighton. Run scored for Josh Reynolds, and that'll be it for Evan Voighton. So we'll get a pitching change here now with Thomas Jefferson leading 2-0. Still one out here in the top half of the fourth inning. On the line from Franklin Medihas High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. We're back in a moment.
WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network in Uniontown.
We're back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. New pitcher for the Mustangs, Jordan Eicher. His fourth appearance of the season for Laurel Highlands. Check that, his third appearance of the season for Laurel Highlands. He's worked 3 innings. Has not come away with a decision. 4.67 ERA, giving up 5 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them earned, walked 2, and he's yet to strike out a batter. And the first pitch here to Luke Warhola misses for ball 1. Bases loaded, Jags up 2-0 as we work here in the top half of the 4th inning with 1 out. 1-0 pitch from Eicher, high for ball 2.
Yeah, and Eicher just standing up a little bit too. Needs to kind of finish his pitch. Came in a pretty stressful situation here. Bases loaded, only 1 out so far for the Jaguars.
2-0 pitch on the way, and on the ground. This could be a double play ball. Stankovic to Burns for 1. Back to first to McManus. In time. 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. The Mustangs needed that. Got it on the ground ball. Eicher on the delivery to Warhola. TJ fans don't like it, but it'll stand a 6-4-3 DP to end the inning. So the Mustangs give up only 1 run. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th. 2-0 TJ over to Laurel Highlands here on the line from Radcliffe Diaz High School Sports Day.
The Fayette Furnace Company, established in 1920 with over 100 years of combined experience in the industry. They are employee-owned and operated. They take pride in solving your home heating and air conditioning needs. They are the area's oldest and most reliable HVAC contractor. They specialize in creating quality energy-saving comfort for your home by using the most advanced technology in the industry. Along with the Carrier Corporation, Fayette Furnace can put together a system to improve your comfort, save you money on energy consumption, and improve any deficiencies in your existing system. They specialize in green speed inverter technology and split systems, ductless split units, zoning, radiant heat, boilers, hot water tanks, tankless water heaters, and many more applications. Call the Fayette Furnace Company today at 724-438-5400. That's 724-438-5400. Ask for Mike to schedule a free consultation.
We're back here at Landman Field, 2-0. Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands as we move to the bottom half of the 4th inning, which is being brought to you by Ted Silva and Son Auto Repair on the Atlas Road in Hopwood. Derek Gasebauer, Ian Edenfield, and Evan Voighton's spot due up for the Mustangs. Of course, now Jordan Eicher in that position, coming on for Evan Voighton, and Eicher getting that double play ball, Tony, that was certainly close over at first base.
Yeah, that was a close call. It'll be interesting to see on Jerry's replay whenever it's replayed on Sunday, but we can also close the book out on Evan Voighton. He pitched 3 1/3 inning, gave up 2 runs, 5 hits.
Excuse me, Tony. Gasebauer a little number here to second. Galliotto there in time. So Luke Warhola 4-3 for the first down of this bottom half of the 4th.
Yeah, he gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 strikeout, 6 bases on balls. So can lose the game, cannot win.
Mustangs need to get the bats going. Ian Edenfield coming to the plate. He struck out looking, facing Logue back in the 2nd inning. First pitch to him here. Just missing low. So far entering this inning, Logue had just thrown 42 pitches, including only 8 back in the 3rd inning.
Right, and actually just got an out on the first pitch here, so.
Been very efficient and gets another ground ball here to short, and that one hops away from Kevin Rehack. E6. That took a bad hop there in the infield. But still, you have to credit the air there on Rehack.
No, I definitely agree. He actually tried to kind of side saddle that a little bit and didn't get in front of it, didn't have a chance to block it, and just went right underneath his glove. So Edenfield reaches on an error. So hopefully this is the start that the Mustangs want.
Now Jordan Eicher coming to the plate. In the same position Evan Voighton walked earlier. Eicher for the season for Laurel Highlands as he takes strike 1 here. I don't think he's had an at-bat all year.
No, I'm not seeing an at-bat, so he's got no average so far here.
This will be his first at-bat of the season for Jordan Eicher. Took strike 1. Now the 0-1 little check swing popped up here on the right side in foul territory in front of the Mustang dugouts. The catch made by Luke Warhola, the first baseman, for the 2nd out of this bottom half of the 4th inning.
Yeah, actually Warhol a nice job on that one. We saw him in the first inning miss a pop fly with Novak, but actually adjusted pretty well to the screen that time and made a nice play.
Now Chad Petrus coming to the plate. He was hit by a pitch back in the second inning. Entered this game with a .250 average, 2 homers and 6 RBIs for the 5'10", 180 junior.
And it'll be interesting to see. He caught that one off the hand the last time up, so we'll see if it affects his swing at all.
First pitch low. Bobby Kelly doing a good job to knock it down.
So yeah, we must not be anything broken with Petrus.
No,
because like I said, he wouldn't be catching or swinging a bat if that's the case. So
set to go again, focused against the very efficient Ian Logue, and Petrus fouls another one off.
And everybody's searching to see if it hits their car. So
I'm gonna try to park far enough away where that's not a problem.
Yeah, I would agree. I've seen enough busted windshields in my time. So 2 for me, put it that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
From baseballs?
Yep.
1-1. And there for a strike, 1-2 now to Chad Petrus. Where'd you get hit at? You remember?
Yeah, actually, both times we're down at Hutchinson.
Okay.
Yeah. Little League game. When I was young, actually, I was driving my dad's car and it busted, and then I got hit it again. I got on my own then.
1-2, lined in our direction.
Keeping the natives restless over here down the left field line.
Yes. Good crowd again on hand.
Making sure everybody's awake. That's when they needed those umbrellas down there for protection, but luckily no rain so far.
We're out in the middle of it, too.
That's it.
1-2 pitch again on the way. That one's low to even up the count at 2-2. Nice to be here in the middle of all of the action here, Tony.
I enjoy this. And as we mentioned, it's a little tough to see up in the press box here. Just for general purposes, it's nice here. You can see the whole field. So
2-2 on the way. That one was just nubbed there by Petrus. It'll go down in the books as a strikeout. Throw down made to first to make it official. And the Mustangs unable to pick up a run here in the bottom half of the fourth, leaving Edenfield stranded. We'll move to the top half of the fifth, still 2-0. Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands here on the line from Practice Diaz High School Sports Day.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Signs include abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. Colon cancer develops from a degenerating benign growth or polyp. Doctors performing colonoscopy are able to remove precancerous polyps, thus preventing colon cancer. This saves lives, and the American Cancer Society now recommends that everyone have a colonoscopy every 10 years, beginning at age 50. Offer the latest diagnostic testing. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Just sit right down and you hear a tale of a fateful call. You better pay those bills right now or you take a mighty fall. He really didn't know what to do, so he turned to those who did. Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, your bankruptcy crew, your bankruptcy crew. So no matter how deep in debt you are, if your back's against the wall, Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, just give them a call.
Ian Logue leading off the top half of the fifth for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. Fouls off the first pitch. Count at 0-1. This top half of the fifth being brought to you by Tim Dye for Recorder of Deeds in Fayette County. You go back and look at Ian Logue. He's really thrown a nice game for TJ so far, Tony.
Yes, he has, Brian. We said that during the break. He's actually only 53 pitches through the first 4 innings here and actually been keeping the Mustangs pretty much off balance. Only gave up 2 hits so far, so pitching a great game so far here for TJ.
So far 0 for 2 at the plate. Count now even at 1-1 here as he faces Jordan Eicher, who came on in relief of Evan Voighton. 1-1 pitch and a well-hit ball here by Logue deep to right center field, and that ball will be caught right in front of the wall by Hudson Novak again.
And Novak did a great job. Actually, nice piece of work out there. Looked back at the fence, measured it up pretty much to see where he was at, and pretty nice running catch there by Hudson Novak. He's a fine defensive center fielder, that's for sure.
He makes it look so routine.
Yes, he does.
And more activity in the Mustang bullpen. Jeffrey Butler now warming up, the 5'7", 175 junior, throwing down there for the Mustangs. And Butler is yet to pitch all season, and this ball popped up by Garrett Fairman. Backing up there is Sankovic. He makes the grab. The shortstop doing a nice job out there, and the deep infield, shallow outfield out there in left center.
Yeah.
Just like that, 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th.
Yeah, quick 4-pitch, 2 outs here so far for Eicher, so just what the Mustangs needed. They thought Hudson Novak was going to call Sankovic off there. He was in a dead sprint, but
Novak covers a lot of ground out there for sure.
Yes, he sure does.
Now Galliotto, who's 1 for 2 today, takes strike 1, including that double to right center field back in the 2nd inning. Came around and scored a run. TJ with a run scored in the 1st, a run in the 4th for their 2. Ended up leaving the bases loaded in that 4th inning.
Yeah, and actually Galliotto made the last out there, grounding back to the pitcher Voitin, so with the bases loaded. So
and that was back in the 3rd, and of course Warhola hitting into that 6-4-3 double play to end the 4th.
Right, I'm sorry.
So the Mustangs have certainly escaped a couple of jams, have given up those 2 runs, but certainly could have been a lot worse. Evan Voitin exited the game after throwing 89 pitches. And you look on the other side, Logue so far has thrown only 53.
Right.
1-1 pitch here inside. Now 2-1 to Galliotto.
Now, as we mentioned, all these games the Mustangs are trying. You can see they're actually working with Butler down in the bullpen now. Eicher's done a pretty nice job here so far.
They're certainly running out of options for Laurel Highlands this week. Now the scoreboard had 2-1, must have been 3-1 as the walks issued there to Galliotto.
That's Eicher's first walk of the day.
Now Mike Huber, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out 5-3 back in the 2nd inning. Flew out to Novak in the 4th. Coming to the plate here with 2 outs and 1 on. And his Jags up 2-0, top half of the 5th. First pitch from Eicher. Missing low and inside.
And I'm wondering, too, if Galliotto looks like he has pretty decent speed. You got to wonder if they might try to steal him here, put him in scoring position. Check the arm of Chad Petrus here.
Had another insurance run. Next pitch to Huber, and there for a strike. Evens up the count at 1-1.
And as mentioned, Galliotto got a little bigger lead on that one, so Eicher kind of checking, but almost a 4 or 5 step lead, almost to the edge of the cutout.
1-1. A line drive here to Lancaster and left, diving effort, and Greg unable to come up with it. And holding up at 3rd will be Luke Galliotto. Into 2nd with a stand-up double is Mike Huber. So a nice effort from Lancaster out there and left. Unable to come up with that well-hit ball from Mike Huber, and that'll give TJ runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, and Josh Reynolds coming to the plate, and it's been a productive afternoon so far for Reynolds. Picked up an RBI single to center field back in the 2nd inning, walked and scored a run in the 4th.
Right, and it looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner.
Correct. I would think here for, well, actually, you have Huber, the DH, and Galliotto on, so it'd have to be a pinch runner in this situation.
Right.
As far as the way it's scored, and of course Huber the designated hitter, so that means if Huber comes out to bat again, that Lorenzo Sorrow, who's coming in to run, will be unable to re-enter the game.
Right. And actually got to go back to that play a little bit. Lancaster made a good effort, but that ball was just kind of dying as soon as it went off the bat. He really didn't have much of a chance, and took a pretty good angle and actually got the glove on the ball, but just wasn't able to make the catch. But good effort by him. There wasn't much he can do.
Now Reynolds at the plate, swings the first pitch from Eichert, sends it in Lancaster's direction again, and this time Gregg comes up with it. Nice catch there from Greg Lancaster to end the inning. So once again, the Jags strand 2, leaving Galliotto and the courtesy runner Sorrow on the base paths. As we head to the bottom half of the 5th, still 2-0 Jags over the Mustangs here on the lot from Radcliffe and Diaz High School Sports Day.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
As we come back to Landman Field, Ian Logue has thrown only 53 pitches through 4 innings. The Mustangs still down 2-0. Logue has issued just 2 hits in this game. The triple from Novak in the first inning and the double from Sankovic in the third inning. You had Edenfield that reached via an error. Evan Voighton walked. Chad Petrus was hit by a pitch. That's been about it so far. Josh Burns leading off this bottom half of the 5th for the Mustangs. Takes ball 1 inside. This half inning being brought to you by the Republic Food Enterprise Center and the Fayette County Community Action Agency.
Yeah, Logie's been in pretty much of a groove here since Novak's triple.
Burns fouls this one off, evens up the count at 1-1. Josh popped up to Luke Galliotto back in the second inning.
And as you mentioned, Brian, Logue so far with 3 strikeouts and 1 walk and a hits batsman. So
1-1 here. Burns fouls it off again, count at 1-2. The Mustangs haven't had more than 5 men come to the plate in any inning, and that was the only time that occurred was back in the second inning when you had Voighton walk, and then Petrus was hit by a pitch, and Burns ended that inning lining out to Galliotto. Josh fouls off another one here to stay alive as the count remains at 1-2.
Yeah, and oddly enough, as we said, only 2 hits for the Mustangs, but they've stranded a runner in each inning so far. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. So just can't seem to put any hits together here against Logue.
1-2 again to Burns, and Burns a little nubber here. This could be trouble down the right field line into foul territory, and the grab made. Nice run there from David Lee out in right field to make the grab to retire Burns for the first down of this bottom half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and actually Lee's made a couple nice plays out there for Thomas Jefferson. I really didn't think he was going to get to that ball at all, but actually tracked it down pretty nicely. So
covered a lot of ground. The ball ended up dropping in foul territory, but still a nice run there from Lee to record the out, and now 1 away with the top of the order, and Tanner Minio coming to the plate.
Yeah, and Arminio so far today 0 for 2, flew out to right field the first time up and struck out in the third.
First pitch here to Arminio, popped up again.
It's coming to us.
It's going to be in front of the TJ dugout, and the grab made by Josh Reynolds, the third baseman. So a couple of grabs in foul territory here for TJ. And just like that, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th.
And I thought that ball was actually going to come our way, but
wind held it in, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what we said. A little bit of wind at Lamb yards here, but must have blown it back in. Must be a little bit more breezy up top here than we know.
Sankovic, first pitch swinging, fouls it off. Counted 0-1. Sank 1 for 2 today. We mentioned that double to right field back in the third inning. As we work here in the home half of the 5th, Mustangs still down 2-0.
And as we mentioned, too, another efficient inning so far here for Logue.
A 1 pitch on the way. And there for a strike. 0-2 now to Travis Sankovic.
And it's a shame we don't have any stats on TJ. I'd like to see what Logue's numbers are for the year.
I inquired several times. They did not want to give anything up to us.
Yeah, well.
0-2 on the way, and it's another line drive from Sankovic, but right at Garrett Fairman for the third out of the inning. So 1-2-3. Bottom half of the 5th, still 2-0 Jags, heading to the top half of the 6th here on the line from Fractive and EHAS High School Sports Day.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
As As we come back, Bobby Kelly takes strike one from Jordan Eicher. TJ continues to lead Laurel Highlands 2-0. 0-1 on the way, misses low and outside, evens up the count at 1-1 to Kelly, who walked last time up in the 4th inning. Flew out to Travis Sankovic back in the 2nd.
Has done a nice job behind the plate so far here today for TJ as well.
This one popped up on the left side. Arminio getting underneath it and making the grab for the first outs of this top half of the 6th. I mentioned how efficient Loga's been. Only 62 pitches thrown through 5 innings on the TJ side.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, he's gotten in a groove. He, in the first inning, threw 14 pitches, which is his high for the day. So
wow.
14. I'm sorry.
He had 20
He had
1
20
inning.
in the
Yes.
2nd inning. 14 and 20, and then the last 3 innings, 8, 11, and 9. So only 28 pitches in the last 3 innings for Logue.
And credit Jordan Eicher as well, coming on in relief for Laurel Highlands. Missed the strike zone there on the first delivery to Kevin Rehack. Jags now making their way through the lineup for the 4th time. Rehack 2 for 3 today. In this top half of the 6th, being brought to you by Larry Russman for North Union Township Supervisor. 1-0 pitch here in the dirt. Hops away from Petrus. Count moves to 2-0.
As we said, Eicher came in and got that huge double play with the bases loaded to save the Mustangs from allowing a few more runs to TJ. So
gave up a walk and a double to Huber back in the 5th inning, but the Jags stranded 2, and the Mustangs got out of there with no damage done. 2-0 pitch here. This ball sent foul by Rehack.
And that's what we were saying with this. You had Butler warming up with looks like no pitching so far this year, but you have Eicher pitching, 3rd time out, 4th time out. So Coach DeBerry's going to have to go deep into the bullpen here.
2-1 sent foul again.
As we mentioned, with a long week, it'll be interesting to see who he starts tomorrow.
Yeah, you have a game tomorrow as well, and you have to plan for that. Of course, you don't know what weather's going to throw your way, but still, you have to have some option out there. You don't want to throw all your arms out here today and then not have anyone to go to tomorrow for that game against the Gators.
Right.
2-2 pitch and a little foul ball down the first base line.
Well, and as we said,
seen a couple of those out of Rehack.
Yeah, and as we said too, you get into this situation and you're almost managing for 2 games, this game and the next game, but.
And we kind of knew going into the season this week was going to be an issue with the trip last week to Hartsville, South Carolina, being backed up on some of these games and having 5 games in a 6-day period. You thought this might happen with pitching, and just unfortunate the way things worked out schedule-wise. And a hard-hit ball here to Sankovic at short, has some trouble with it, goes in between his legs, and in a shallow left center field.
And
how you scoring that?
I'm going to have to go E6 on that. He actually didn't stay down on the ball. The ball kind of came up on him a little bit, but it didn't come up enough. He didn't have his glove down on the ground and just kind of scooted underneath him. So
that'll bring up Zandier for the 4th time today. Zandier an RBI walk last time up in the 4th inning. Was walked twice in this game and struck out once. Hasn't hit the ball yet in fair territory. He'll take the first pitch here for a strike.
And that was the first error by the Mustangs here today, so pretty nice job defensively. Because really, Thomas Jefferson putting the ball in play too. Only 1 strikeout so far. That was Zandier in the first, so everything else has been in play.
0-1 pitch on the way. That one high and inside. Kind of even at 1-1. Scoreboard has 2-0. That's incorrect. Strike was called the first time around, and the umpire making sure now everybody knows it's 1-1.
Yep. Especially looking up Barry's way to make sure he's okay with it.
I think Barry got it now. He's on at 1-1. 1-1 pitch high and inside. And we've seen from time to time a lot of these home plate umpires, some of their signals aren't very definitive one way or another, and sometimes has us guessing a couple of times. We had a few guesses earlier on this game, and we've had throughout the course of the season as well.
Well, and we guessed a lot down at McKeesport the other day as well. We were right there.
2-1 pitch, and this ball popped up on the right side. Burns getting under it and making the grab for the 2nd out of the inning.
Nice play by Burns. Looked like he was kind of fighting a little bit of wind there, but
I think the guy's been doing that all game long, though.
Yeah, I know.
We don't feel it too much where we're situated at, but there must be more wind up in the higher elevations than we're experiencing right now.
Well, we saw that too, even at McKeesport.
Correct.
We saw probably about 4 or 5 fly balls that ended up being battled for, and we thought it were going to be just straight cans of corn, and next thing you know, they're trying to skirt after him and try to get to it.
Luke Warhola coming to the plate, takes strike one here from Eicher. I'm impressed with Eicher.
He's actually
I didn't know what to expect coming in. Hasn't had that much action on the mound, but he's held his own.
He's done well. He's throwing strikes, and that's all you can do.
Now runner going here. Pitches low and outside, and they'll let Kevin Rehack get down to second. Yeah. When Gary and I were working together earlier in the season, Gary gave him the nickname the Mad Hungarian out there.
He does look like Al Raboski, only from the other side now. Raboski was a lefty for the Cardinals way back in the day.
1-1, high and inside. I talked to Jordan after that game. He just kind of laughed it off a little bit. I don't think he wanted the nickname to stick.
No, I'm sure.
Probably before his time as well.
I'm sure of that. He had no idea what you're even saying.
Probably not. Now he'll step off here again.
Yeah, no, I find myself doing that a lot. I'll say something like that to my kids. Mention something back in the 80s, or they have no idea what I'm even saying.
Now the 2-1 on the way. High and inside. It's hard to believe. I guess I'm feeling my age as well. It's been 20 years since I've been out of high school.
Try 40.
I don't know if my nieces and nephews would know how to insert cassette tapes anymore. It's been a totally different generation now. 3-1 pitch, and that ball thrown away.
It was kind of funny. I went out to the MAC tournament, which we do every year, and we actually went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And that's going to be on our destination, I think, as far as summer trips. My wife actually said that to me this year. Why don't we go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? You're saying no, don't go?
Nah.
No? Wow.
It's okay. I mean,
okay.
Unless you want to look at guitars and outfits. And
okay.
There's really not a whole lot.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't think so, but.
We went to the Country Music Hall of Fame a couple of years ago. We went down to Nashville for a Penguins-Predators game and had a good time down in Nashville, a nice little town. And I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when it first opened up about 20 years ago. Used to go up to Cleveland on a yearly basis for the IndyCar race they had up there at Berkeley Front Airport. Would go with my dad. He'd have a lot of clients up in that area. We'd make that a regular summer trip for us, and had an opportunity to go by when it first opened up. But it's been at least 20 years since I've had an opportunity to go up there as well.
It was okay.
I'll tell Angela you said it's a no-go then.
Yeah.
Say Tony just said no.
She can call me, and I'll tell her what I saw. I don't want to. But then again, I could have been because it was kind of cutting into our beer time there on the weekend, too. It was Saturday afternoon, so, you know.
Yeah, you had other stuff to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we had other places to go, people to see, things to do. But
here it's 2-0. Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands. We have 2 outs in the top half of the 6th inning. Ian Logue at the plate for the Jags. Runners on first and third. Thomas Jefferson looking for a couple of insurance runs and a 1-0 count here to Ian Logue. Eicher's 1-0 pitch, and Logue, a well-hit ball getting through on the right side. That'll score a run into right fielder Derek Gasebauer on to field it. So an RBI single for Logue. Driving in, Kevin Rehack.
And a nice shot. McManus, not much he could do on that. Was actually holding the runner and kind of hit to his right side, reached down, but just couldn't get to the ball. So.
And Wagner will come out as the courtesy runner. That's Zach Wagner, number 11. The senior running for Logue. And now Luke Warhola on second, and this game starting to get away from Laurel Highlands, now down 3-0. With 2 outs as we work here in the top half of the 6th inning. And Garrett Fairman, the 6th Jag, to come to the plate here in this top half of the 6th inning.
Well, and the other thing.
Fairman, another well-hit ball past Herminio down the third base line. Here's Warhola rounding third. He's on his way to the plate. He'll score. Into third safely is the courtesy runner Wagner, and down to second with a double is Garrett Fairman.
And all of a sudden, they're catching up to Eicher here a little bit.
They are. So Warhola and Rehack scoring runs in this half inning. Now 4 across for the Jags. The Mustangs might have to get their bullpen going again now with Fairman on second, Wagner on third, and Luke Galliato, the 7th Jag to bat here in this half inning. First pitch swinging again. Since it's on the ground, Herminio at third. He'll send it over to Mason McManus at first to get out of the inning. 5-3, but the damage already done. 2 more across for the Jags as we head to the bottom half of the 6th. It's 4-0. Thomas Jefferson over Laurel Highlands here in the law firm of Radcliffe & Dehas High School Sports Day.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is a state-licensed and Medicare-certified facility and emphasizes privacy, comfort, caring, and safety for colonoscopies and upper GI endoscopies. Painless procedures are done with twilight sedation given by a board-certified anesthesiologist. The center accepts most insurance plans and is staffed by Doctors Ruthhart, Calabrese, Stokes, SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
It's Novak, McManus, and Gasebauer due up for Laurel Highlands with Mustangs down 4-0. To Thomas Jefferson. Mustangs down their final 6 outs. Novak 1 for 2, swings and misses at the first pitch here from Ian Logue. That's his 63rd pitch of the game, coming here in the top half of the 6th.
And as we said, extremely efficient here so far for TJ today.
0-1 pitch, and Novak sends it on the ground. Defensive play made there by Josh Reynolds. Long throw over.
Yeah, it's a foul ball.
Foul ball. Wow.
He's calling a foul ball, but that was a nice play.
It was. I think they would have had Novak, too.
Oh, he did have him, yeah.
Yep. That's close.
It was close. I kind of thought it was fair.
I thought it was fair, too.
Yeah. Then again, he's looking down the line, so he's got a little better angle than we do,
correct.
But, yeah, nice back-handed play.
This afternoon being brought to you by the law firm of Ratcliffe and Dehass. 4-0, Thomas Jefferson. The Jags had a 4-run win over Laurel Highlands earlier on this month, 10-6. This has been more of a low-scoring game. The Mustangs haven't got the bats going, but here's Novak with a leadoff single to right here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, maybe just what the doctor ordered for Laurel Highlands, the second hit of the game, and the first single Laurel Highlands has had all game long.
Right, out of the 3 hits so far, 2 extra base hits. Now 2 hits by Novak out of the 3, so double, triple, and single so far. So the Mustangs may hit for the cycle here.
As a team?
Yes, as a team.
They can certainly use that home run right now from Mason McManus to cut the lead in half.
Now McManus flew out twice to
right field. Yep, he certainly do.
And McManus coming in the game with a .400 average. 2 home runs on the season, so the Mustangs hoping he picks up number 3 here.
Takes ball 1 low from Ian Logue. Mustangs just trying to get Logue out of his groove. He's been very focused throughout the course of this game. Still with a shutout going. 1-0 pitch. Catches the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. You'd like to keep that shutout intact. TJ coming into this game, 6-5 overall record, 6-3 in the conference. Jags haven't made the WPIAL playoffs since 2014 when they lost a first-round game to Knock at North Allegheny High School. Of course, the Mustangs have been regulars in the postseason over the last couple of years, and McManus with a shot here in the right center field. That'll help the cause on the Mustangs side. Back-to-back hits to lead off the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs.
And we would say that Logue's getting tired, but that was only his 68th pitch of the game, so still pretty fresh, I'm sure.
Laurel Highlands with a playoff win a season ago over Ambridge 4-0 in the first round before losing a tough one that we worked together, Tony, to Chartiers Valley in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we saw a well-pitched game and 2-1 game won by Chartiers Valley, the eventual WPIAL champion as well. So
TJ has 2 shutouts already this season over Albert Gallatin and McKeesport, both 12-0 wins, as Derek Gasebauer comes to the plate and takes ball 1 here inside. And they're going to get their bullpen going just in case it's needed.
And we see number 5 going down. John Stover going to warm up here for TJ.
The senior righty loosening up a bit if needed. Gasebauer at the plate. Swings, and that one is ruled foul, tipped by Gasebauer. Had a little action there on the base paths as well. Novak was on the move. Now he'll go back to second base.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I'm not so sure why you'd run him in that situation, but Gasebauer coming in with a .357 average on the year. 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. So,
as you said, 0 for 2 though so far today. Got to figure he's due. A swing and a miss here. Big cut there from Gasebauer. They count now at 1-2.
Yeah, he was looking to pull something there, had an inside pitch and kind of turned on it, but just didn't catch up to it. So, good try by Derek.
Come on, Derek.
Looking for something here.
Now, again, we see a big hole on the right side if he can place the ball between first and second baseman.
Stepping off.
Novak. And Novak would score, especially with this slow grass at Landman yards. The outfield's kind of slow, too. So
we got the game-tying run now in the on-deck circle in Edenfield. Mustangs trying to make this interesting in the later innings. Still nobody out here as well in the bottom half of the sixth. Mustangs down 4-0. And a ground ball here. This could be 2. Pitcher throw back to second. Nobody was on the bag. And everybody's safe. So it should have been a routine double play. You had some miscommunication there between Rehack and Galliotto as far as who was going to cover the second base bag, and nobody was on the bag at all.
No, and I know, and Thomas Jefferson's coach here coming out and questioning it, but he's saying the ball was being taken out, but the best part was nobody was on the bag. The ball actually went through. The shortstop went to cut the ball and never tried to catch it, and the second baseman caught it behind the bag, so nobody out at that point in time.
They score in that one.
Well, you got to score a fielder's choice for Gasebauer, and you can give an error, but I'm not so sure to who.
Okay.
I mean, probably the shortstop, I'm guessing. It looked like he was covering on that play, so.
Now the base is loaded now, and the game-tying run at the plate here in Edenfield. We talk about a big home run in a spot.
Oh, no
Down
kidding.
4-0. Yeah. Edenfield has yet to go a yard this season. Certainly has plenty of pop in his bat. Behind 0-1 here against Logue. Swings and misses, and now behind 0-2.
Yeah, it was almost a defensive swing there. Kind of got fooled a little bit. I think he was looking for a curveball and kind of caught a fastball in the outside corner. A little defensive swing there, so.
You have Iker in the on-deck circle.
And TJ's defense still playing regular depth.
0-2 pitch, high and inside. And they have a throwaway pitch there from Logue.
Yeah, at this point in time, all you're looking for is outs. You can give up a run for a double play, so TJ's defense staying back.
Count out 1-2. Logue to Edenfield with the bases loaded, and the Mustangs down 4. Nobody out here, bottom half of the sixth, and Edenfield hits this high in the air to shallow left. Charging and unable to come up with it is Garrett Fairman. Fairman, quick throw in. That's a force out at third. Retiring McManus. So that'll go 7-5 on the fielder's choice, but give Edenfield an RBI and a run scored on the play by Hudson Novak to break up Logue's shutouts.
Right. Not much McManus can do there. He had to play it halfway in case Fairman would make the catch, so the ball didn't stray away too far from Fairman once he made the dive and actually just grabbed it, stood up, and
barely got the force down at third. Yeah. I think it was a good call.
Yeah, nice shot, though. Nice throw there, too, so good throw by Fairman to get McManus at third base.
Now you have a run across, runners on first and second. Now 1 out here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. And Jordan Iker, who popped up in foul territory back in the fourth inning, coming to the plate.
Yeah, popped out to the first baseman, Warhola, the last time up. So.
And that was his first at-bat of the season.
Right. Yeah, he's looking to get his average to 500 here, that's for sure.
Swings at the first pitch and hits it high in the air to left field. Backing up is Garrett Fairman. He'll get under it and make the grab, and the runner's going to have to hold. Gasebauer thought about the run down to third, but that throw was pretty much dead on down to Josh Reynolds. I think they would have had Gasebauer if he chose to run.
I think they would have had him without a problem. Coach DeBerry held him up at second base wisely.
Now Chad Petrus coming to the plate. Again, Chad represents the game-tying run with the Mustangs down 3, 2 on, 2 outs, bottom half of the sixth inning. Mustangs down to their final 4 outs.
And Iker didn't miss that pitch by much, I can tell you that. He drove it pretty deep.
Probably, good cut.
Yeah, probably about 10 steps in front of the fence.
Petrus' first pitch swinging sends this one high in the air to center field. Zandier there, and he'll make the grab to end the inning. But the Mustangs do get a run across. They sent 6 men to the plate, end up stranding a pair. And after 6, it's Thomas Jefferson 4, Laurel Highlands 1 here in the lot from Franklin D. Hess High School Sports Day. Mike Huber leading off the top half of the 7th inning for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. They lead by 4. First pitch ruled high there from Jordan Eicher.
Yeah, Huber DHing today. 1 for 3. Grounded out to third in the 2nd inning. Flew out to center field in the 4th and a double in the 5th.
He'll rip this one into the TJ bullpen down the left side.
Scattered John Stover down there, who's warming up for TJ just in case in the 7th inning in relief of Logue.
And with Huber batting here, that means that Sorrow came on as a pinch runner. Lorenzo Sorrow, number 12, will be ineligible to return the rest of the way if TJ needed to use him in any situation.
Right.
Count at 1-1. Eicher to Huber, pitching there for a strike. Count now 1-2. Again, we're back here tomorrow. We'll probably be up in the gantry, I would think, tomorrow for the Mustangs and the Gateway Gators.
Hopefully the Bees aren't there.
No, I hope not. Here's Huber sitting on the ground. Kind of ate up Arminio a little bit, try to spin and throw. But safe at first is Mike Huber.
Yeah, we're going to have to give Nathaniel an error there. Little E5.
Got to bring up Josh Reynolds. I would think, though, that TJ would stick with the Logue to start the 7th.
Oh, I would imagine. I can't.
Had 77 pitches so far for the game.
And
we'll get another pinch runner.
And we have Zach Wagner coming in to pinch run for Huber.
Wagner came on as a courtesy runner earlier for Logue, so the re-entry allowed in that situation since Logue was the pitcher. But now Wagner, if they go back to Huber as the DH later on in the game, which unless the Mustangs would come back and tie the game, or TJ bats around here in the 7th, probably won't factor into this game at all.
Right.
Now Reynolds showing bunt. Pitch ruled a strike. Mustangs were charging, and they counted 0-1.
Yeah, Mustangs charging, and Reynolds actually just kind of stabbed at that ball rather than trying to catch it with the bat, as they tell you, so not so sure we're going to see him square around this time again. Yeah, we do.
Here comes the charge, and the bunt laid down, but goes foul on the left side, so they counted 0-2. So nobody out as we work here in the top half of the 7th inning. 4-1, Thomas Jefferson leading Laurel Highlands. Brian Morozak alongside Tony Hanula and Jerry Dupay. Nick Barczyk back at WMBS Central.
Reynolds coming, looking at the signs here. Got to wonder if they're going to have Wagner take off.
Couple of sprinkles back in the air. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big pitch there from Jordan Eicher. I believe that's his first strikeout of the game. It is.
It is. That's his first strikeout. And actually only the second all day for Thomas Jefferson. So, as we mentioned, Zandier struck out in the first inning. And just the first strikeout since the second batter of the game for TJ. So, been extremely effective in putting the ball in play.
Now Bobby Kelly coming to the plate. Takes ball one high and inside. Kelly, his 4th at-bat of the game, or 4th plate appearance of the game, popped up to Travis Sankovic, walked in the 4th, and then flew out to Tanner Minio in the 6th. Another ball high there from Eicher.
Yeah, Eicher, as we said, going to have to finish this game. I'm sure that Coach DeBerry doesn't want to use any other arms here today.
Especially the game on the docket tomorrow.
Yeah, so
it'll be the 5th game a week, for the Mustangs. Swing and a miss there from Kelly.
And as we said, we're not sure who he's going to throw tomorrow, so it's going to be kind of limited, really, as we mentioned, with the pitch count and everything else.
Maybe McManus.
Yeah, probably McManus, or not so sure.
And fouled off. You look at the options as far as guys that have thrown so far this season. I would think another option would be pull up the
well, you got
good old stats here as well. Noah Mencken.
You got Mencken, DeRogie.
Correct.
So
that would probably be about it.
Yeah.
And McManus. I think those would be your 3 options for tomorrow.
Yeah.
As far as guys that have seen action, and of course, Ian Edenfield didn't see action until yesterday, or Wednesday,
Right.
It was very efficient. Counting a full 3-2, 1 out here in the top half of the 7th inning. Jordan Eicher facing Bobby Kelly. Runner going, and that pitch fouled off.
Kelly making Eicher work here. Fouled off 3 straight pitches. making Eicher's pitch count go up a little bit. Already at 12 for this inning.
I would think all three of those guys would likely be in play for tomorrow if needed, depending on how things would shake out against the Gators.
No, you're going to have to, yeah.
And, of course, games Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Mustangs playing Thursday instead of Friday next week. Either Laurel Highlands or Gateway has their prom, I think, next Friday, and that's what pushed up that game a scheduled day.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're getting to be about that time now. Prom nights and everything else coming up, so.
A 3-2 pitch on the way. Another line drive shot over the head of Travis Senkovich in the left field. Lancaster on to field it. And runners on first and second here for the Gators with one out here in the top half of the seventh. Or for the Jags, excuse me. Jags already up 3 at 4-1.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there by Bobby Kelly. As we mentioned, fouled off 4 pitches and got the pitch he wanted and ripped it into left field for a base hit. So
now the 5th time through the order already, Kevin Rehack.
Rehack's had a pretty good day here. 2 for 4 at this point in time.
He's been on base in 3 of his 4 plate appearances. Got on via an error in the 6th inning as well and scored a run.
And stole a base as well. So
let the first pitch miss high here for ball 1.
Mustangs pretty much straightaway defense again. Center fielder Novak cheating in a little bit, but
1-0 pitch off the plate again. Count it 2-0.
Rehack with 2 singles flew out to center fielder Novak and reached on an error by shortstop Sankovich, and last at bat in the 6th inning scored a run. Trying to keep the rally going and get some more insurance runs for Thomas Jefferson here.
Eicher a little step off. Mustangs in the whites today, red numbers. TJ the away blacks, gold numbers, white pants. Another pitch high there from Eicher. Count at 3-0 here to Kevin Rehack.
Petrus is going to go out and talk to Eicher here a little bit. I think tell him he's kind of standing straight up here. A couple of those pitches were high.
Looks like the way the Jags are playing, though, here in 2017, they'll be in the playoffs for the first time, as we said, since the 2014 season. It's amazing, and almost all sports, how successful this Thomas Jefferson Athletic Department has been over the course of the years. Of course, the football program has gotten the majority of the hype. Bill Cherpak, the longtime football coach at TJ, and that one on the inside might have hit. Rehack would have been ball 4 anyways. Loads up the bases. And Eicher's starting to run out of gas.
Yeah. Coach DeBerry going to come out and talk to him, see what's going on.
We're going to have a pitching change. Might be Lancaster again out there in the left.
Right.
So we'll step aside. Pitching change for the Mustangs. 4-1. Thomas Jefferson, bases loaded, 1 out. Here for the Jags. You're listening to 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, and watching the South Union Township Sports Network. And we're also on the MSA Sports Network. We're back in a moment. We're back here at Laurel Highlands High School, and for the 3rd time over the last 4 days, Greg Lancaster is going to pitch here for Laurel Highlands.
Yeah, Lancaster coming in with a 1-1 record.
Actually picked up the loss on Tuesday at Albert Gallatin, got the win Wednesday against McKeesports.
Right, in relief of Edenfield after Edenfield did a sterling job on the relief end, and Lancaster happened to come in the 11th and ended up getting the win, actually in the 10th, and ended up getting the win. So
he's worked only 4 1/3 all season, 1-1 record, 4.85 ERA, struck out 4, walked 4, giving up 3 runs, all of them earned.
Coming in now with guys full on the bases for Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, bases loaded. Zandier at the plate. Mustangs down 3 at 4-1. And Zandier fouling off the first pitch on the right side, counted 0-1.
Yeah, and only one out for Thomas Jefferson, so pretty big situation for Lancaster.
Infield coming in here.
Yeah. Oh, you almost have to. You've got to cut off any run at all if you want to stand a chance here. And Logue's been pretty much stifling the Mustangs all day long, so.
0-1 from Lancaster. Ball hit high in the air in a shallow left. And charging on and making the grab there. The Mustangs left fielder. Of course, Lancaster was in left, and they inserted now, I think, number 6. That's Dylan Bonna out there in left.
Right.
So Bonna in for Lancaster out there in left field. Doing a nice job to make the grab for the second out of the inning. As Lancaster tries to get the Mustangs out of a jam now with Luke Warhola coming to the plate. And Warhola's also been on base 3 times over his last 4 plate appearances. Grounded into that 6-4-3 double play to end the 4th. Single back in the 1st. Walked in the 6th and the 3rd innings. First pitch here from Lancaster to Warhola off the plate for ball 1.
And Lancaster did a nice job, as we mentioned the other day, down at McKeesport, keeping the Mustangs win alive down at McKeesport. So
certainly did that. 1-0 pitch. Line drive getting through into center field. 2 runs will score here for the Jaguars. The second one was close as Bobby Kelly barely beat the tag there from Chad Petrus, closer than I initially anticipated. So 2 RBIs there for Luke Warhola.
Now 6-1 for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars.
Yeah, Wagner, the courtesy runner, and Kelly scoring on the play. So now you have Warhola on first, Rehack on second. The Mustangs down 5 at 6-1.
And a pretty nice throw there by Hudson Novak. Actually, I think that what ended up happening was Petrus came out a little bit.
Correct.
Was in front of the plate. I think if he stayed at the plate, probably would have had. Yeah, no, I think he might have had Kelly there. So, but just came out a little in front and tried to jump back and make the tag. So,
to lead at 5 with Logue at the plate, and he'll take strike 1. Logue, the 7th Jag to bat here in this top half of the 7th inning.
Yeah, Logue 1 for 4 on the day. Base hit in the 6th.
Picked up an RBI.
Yeah, picked up an RBI and flew out to second, flew out to center, and hit into a line drive double play in the 1st.
0-1 pitch, now time called.
The ump kind of gave him a late time there.
Yes.
So, although Lancaster was taking a long look back at second base.
Now he's set to go again. Gets the play ball signal from Paul Schoenfield.
And not much of a lead by anybody here, obviously. Just trying to play it safe now with a 5.
0-1 on the way. Well hit ball here from Logue, but backing up and making the grab. Derek Gasebauer to end the inning, but the Jags played another 2 runs. Now Thomas Jefferson 6 and Laurel Highlands 1. Mustangs down to their final 3 outs. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning here in the Live from Franklin Matthias High School Sports Day.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Laurel Highlands down to their final 3 outs as we come back. Josh Burns, Tanner Mineo, and Travis Sankovic due up here in the home half of the 7th.
And the Mustangs only with 4 hits today against Logue. 2 in the last inning, so.
He's thrown 77 pitches looking for the complete game. Certainly has a little room to work with here. Yielded only that 1 run in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
And as we mentioned, 3 strikeouts so far for the day, 1 walk, and one-hit batsman. So
Ian Edenfield, the lone RBI of the game for Laurel Highlands, driving in Hudson Novak. Josh Burns will try to get things started for the Mustangs, but they need 5 to tie the game, 6 to win it. First pitch here to Burns, high and inside for ball 1. Always remember back to that one miracle comeback they had against Indiana years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That game?
Yeah, I do remember that game. I remember listening to you guys do it.
1-0 pitch. This is low and outside.
Well, hey, you never know. Baseball's a funny game, boy, but I'll tell you what, Logan's done a pretty nice job. I can't say enough good about him. And that's what we talked about too, Brian. We said that how many complete games are you actually going to see in high school baseball with this pitch count? You know, a lot of these kids walk a lot of batters.
2-0 pitch, hopping away there.
But
count of 3-0.
He's been extremely efficient, and only to throw 77 pitches in 6 innings. I mean, it's pretty nice pitching here today. So
he's up to 80 now as Burns races out to a 3-0 lead in the count. As Josh Stover continues to loosen up. Check that, John Stover continues to loosen up down the left field line for the Jags. 3-0 pitch here to Burns, and there for a strike count of 3-1.
Oh yeah, he's taking all the way. You got to try to at least get somebody on base to start a rally here. So, and I see Tommy Palacia put down the umbrella. So
3-1, little nubber here from Burns. Will drop in for a hit in shallow center field. One hopping back to Zane Zandier. So Josh Burns getting this bottom half of the 7th inning started with a single to center.
Tommy put that umbrella down. He's trying to change the mojo here, change the karma. So
and we might have a pitching change. We are.
Wow.
So out of the game, Ian Logue. Pitching change here for the Jags occurs with Burns on first and nobody out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. We'll step aside for another break. You're listening to the law firm of Franklin Diaz High School Sports Day here on WMBS, the MSC Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network in Uniontown.
As we come back, John Stover, the new pitcher for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars, will face the top of the Mustang order in Tanner Mineo after Josh Burns led off the inning with a single that got Ian Logue out of the game.
Yeah, kind of surprised that.
Here's Mineo with a well-hit ball to left, but making the grab there is Garrett Fairman for the first out of the inning.
Fairman's played a nice job defensively as well for Jaguars out in left field. Made a few nice plays and a couple nice catches. A nice throw out at third base to force out McManus on the last inning. So
is that 4 or 5 grabs out there in left?
Yeah, he's looked good.
Now Sankovic coming to the plate. 4th time through the order for the Mustangs. Sankovic 1 for 3. Lone double, first pitch swinging here. We'll pick up another hit. Into shallow right center field. Burns will hold up at second. That'll give the Mustangs 2 on with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Yeah, and we questioned. That's what we said. I wasn't real sure why Coach Grabowski took out Logue at this point in time. Only had 82 pitches and still would have to rest the 3 calendar days no matter what. So
correct.
He'd been extremely efficient for Thomas Jefferson here today, but decided to go with Stover, and they've hit him hard both times here on the 2 pitches that he's thrown.
Still with a little bit of a cushion with the Jags up 5. It's 6-1. Novak at the plate. First pitch from Stover. Novak hits it high in the air. Getting under at Rehack, the shortstop, will make the grab for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, Novak just saw that pitch above his eyes there and thought it was a pretty good looking pitch, but it's tough to get on top of that pitch right there. So
now Mason McManus, Mustangs down to their final outs. Still quite an uphill battle, down 5. Runners on first and second.
McManus, with a fielder's choice, actually got robbed of a base hit. Had to go with the fielder's choice because somebody got thrown out at third base.
Swings and misses here at the first pitch. That was actually Edenfield.
I'm sorry, he had a single. I'm sorry, yeah.
He did have the single to right center.
Yeah, that was Edenfield who got robbed there. I'm sorry. So, yeah, McManus 1 for 3 on the day. Base hit and flew out to right field twice.
Behind 0-1 on the count here. Now a little nubber. This could do it. Picked up by the catcher Kelly over to first in time. Luke Warhola And that'll end it 2-3 with a final out of the game. Thomas Jefferson a 6-1 win over Laurel Highlands. The Jags improved to 7-5 overall, 7-3 in the conference. The Mustangs dropped to 7-6 overall, 4-5 in conference play. We're back to recap the game for you in a moment on WMBS and on the South Union Township Sports Network and the MSA Sports Network.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Thomas Jefferson with a 6-1 win over Laurel Highlands here today in high school baseball action. Tony is here with your game recap.
All right, for the victorious Thomas Jefferson Jaguars, 6 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors, 12 men left on base. Winning pitcher would be Logue. For the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, 1 run on 6 hits, 9 men left on base, and 2 errors for the Mustangs.
So Laurel Highlands, as we said, dropping to 7-6 overall, 4-5 in conference play. The Mustangs back at it tomorrow, taking on Gateway, an 11 a.m. first pitch, weather permitting. 10:45 Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the radio side. Also be a TV simulcast with the South Union Township Sports Network. Thomas Jefferson improving to 7-5 overall and 7-3 in conference play. We're back with a final word from Laurel Highlands in just a moment here on WMBS and on the South Union Township Sports Network. Wrapping things up here from Laurel Highlands, the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars defeating the Laurel Highlands Mustangs by a score of 6-1. Today's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. I'm Brian Morozak with Tony Hanula and Jerry Dupay. Again, your final score, Thomas Jefferson 6 and Laurel Highlands 1. This has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation.